and saying, well, tomorrow we get to see who we're playing against, and we'll get ready for the NCAA tournament tonight. We got to dissect this game, and then, like I said, when we know who our opponent is, we'll get ready to play them.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
People who really want to have a good time won't come to a slaughterhouse. And we've got entirely too many troublemakers here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
I don't like you because you're dangerous. That's right. I am dangerous.
Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
I
hit the 7-iron like John Daly hits the 3.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
You just gotta keep living, man.
And Tommy Kraft.
We follow orders or people die. Are we clear?
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes, sir.
Good to be with you on a Hot Take Monday with Arkansas basketball at the forefront of the conversation. You can hear Eric Musselman, the disappointment in his voice after his team's performance, losing to Texas A&M on Saturday. Not just losing, getting clobbered. And it was not the same way you went out against LSU in the semifinals last year. A&M thoroughly outplayed you and kind of clowned you at the end of that game. You could tell he was frustrated. He was a little happier yesterday when we got a chance to speak with him, but maybe that's good motivation for this team. You found out your opponent, the Vermont Catamounts, that you'll play Thursday night, 8:20 Central Time on TNT as we get ready for that game. NCAA tournament starts on Tuesday. I know y'all are pumped for that. Get things going with the first 4 in Dayton, Ohio, and then we move on to the actual first and second round on Thursday and Friday. Arkansas got a series sweep win over Illinois Chicago in baseball. We'll touch on that. And the big national story this morning, Tom Brady coming back out of retirement. He's going to embark on a 23rd or 24th season in his NFL career, which is just insane, and especially the touchdown ratio that he put up last year. So we'll get to all that this morning here on Hot Take Monday, Tommy.
Yeah, and Hot Take Monday is always brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Home of the lifetime warranty at Wheels RV. You're not going to miss out on any of the extra benefits and values when you shop at Wheels RV. The top brands, the best prices, on-site storage and service available as well, and that lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell. It's at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV. How we doing, guys?
Morning.
Morning.
It's good to be back in the saddle.
Like our
it's a little different.
We like the bracket so far. I hadn't even printed a version out yet. I've looked at it on the phone. I hadn't had a chance to really. I think the bracket's one of those things that's hard to really look at on your phone and pieces and stuff. You got to print. It's still one of those things. I've got to find a printer. I've got to have a printed version to really digest this thing.
I was going to print one this morning, but wasn't able to do that. I think the thing with the bracket, Tommy, I have only looked at Arkansas's West region. I couldn't tell you outside of the 1 seeds anything with the East or the South or whatever the other regions are. I only know Arkansas's region. That's really the only thing I've looked at so far.
And, Gonzaga, the 1 seed in your region, you've got to go to Buffalo. But if you end up winning in Buffalo, you go to San Francisco. So it's interesting. You could end up on both coasts by the time the following weekend rolls around. But Vermont, 8:20 Thursday night, you get the late draw. So in Buffalo, New York, and we'll talk about the Catamounts and Arkansas's matchup. Some people are saying, this is a bad matchup. The way they play could be a lot like Colgate from last year, guys.
Very slow method. What do you know about the Catamounts?
I know what
outside of the mascot.
Before we were even had Selection Sunday, I was just reading some of the expert matchups and some of the predictions. And Vermont was one of those teams. Even Anthony Ruda thought you might end up playing. And I haven't read anyone that thought, hey, this is a favorable matchup for Arkansas.
I think it's just a good basketball team that Arkansas is going to have to go up against. And being the 4 seed, you knew you were going to get a 13 seed matchup. And you said, I think before the show, that you felt like that you heard some people say that they were not seated high enough where they should be. Talking about Vermont.
Yeah, I mean, if you think that it's going to be a tough Razorback matchup, then I think that really was the opinion of some people, that Vermont should have been maybe an 11 or a 10. But I don't think that obviously they didn't get to that point. But yeah, hey, listen, quit worrying about Vermont and just go win the basketball game. If you really believe you're a Final Four quality team. Vermont shouldn't be what has you quaking in your boots a little bit this morning. Quit worrying about Vermont. I'm more concerned that you might have to play Gonzaga between now and in the Final Four trip. That's got me a lot more concerned. You got to get to there first.
Do you think Arkansas fans think they're a Final Four team? Do you think this team is worthy of being mentioned in that breath?
Well, I mean, if Twitter's the end-all, be-all that some people think it is, I sure see that enough out there that people think they are.
Even after the Texas A&M getting just smacked?
It's one game. I mean, yeah, they didn't play well. I mean, you lay an egg like that, you won't be. But
I'm going to be honest, man.
You got to keep J.D. Note out of foul trouble. That's the key to it.
Yeah, that's the question I asked him yesterday, because if you remember, how did he exit last year in the NCAA tournament?
Foul trouble.
Fouled out against Baylor. He fouled out, and that game was over because he was the only one that was doing anything offensively against the Bears at that point in time. He has 2 fouls quickly against Texas A&M. Actually picked up a 3rd foul with about a minute 30-something to go in that basketball game. So it's important for him to be playing aggressive, but at the same time being smart, not picking up early fouls, which when he's not on the floor, LSU is not able to take advantage of when he was off the floor, Tommy. But A&M stretched that league, and Muss was forced to put him in, and picked up that 3rd foul, and it was there was a couple times where Arkansas made a run. I think they cut it to like 4 or 6 a handful of times in the second half, and every time that A&M looked like they were going to maybe bow out and give into a lead for Arkansas, they hadn't answered. Credit to Buzz Williams. I'll say this. Muss did give a lot of credit to Buzz Williams and that basketball team on Saturday. It's the first thing he said in the press conference. He said it several times then. Now, he's highly disappointed with how his guys played, but I did notice that he wanted to make sure that Buzz's team got credit for the way that they stepped on the floor and just wanted it more than Arkansas.
Well, they looked like the team that had the rest. They looked like the team that hadn't played the extra game. Arkansas looked lethargic. They looked slow. And A&M, who should have been the team that had tired legs, and they looked like the team that was playing for their tournament lives. They end up not getting in the tournament, but they look like the team with more sense of urgency. Arkansas just didn't look like that team on Saturday.
And I know Buzz Williams, I don't think, was asked about that. They did. I didn't ask Quentin Jackson. Someone did, and they thought they were clearly in the tournament. And I know there's metrics that have compared them and Notre Dame, and A&M looks clearly like the better team that deserves to be in. What did you think about them getting snubbed? That was the only team. Maybe there's one more that people were like, how did they not get in the tournament that I saw? There wasn't, I feel it, to my knowledge, a bunch of snubs that took place yesterday.
Well, if Notre Dame's the tournament team, then if you just did blind resumes, you would have to say A&M's resume would get them into the field. But we also got to remember, just because you play well at the end and played well in your conference tournament isn't just enough to put you in the tournament either. I think that's the part as fans. We have recency bias. We see this on TV and a tournament run in their conference tournament. We think, oh, they're a tournament team. Well, let's go back and look at the whole season, because do you want to get into where we don't even value the games that happen, I don't know, prior to January 1? Those don't count? Because you can't have it both ways. And that's what we do as sports fans. We talk out both sides of our mouths. You want to use the stuff that's good for your team that happened in November and December, but then when a team you think got the shaft, like A&M, and listen, their metrics are better when you compare them to Notre Dame. You've got a case there. But we also got to remember this is a 32, 33 game evaluation and not a 3-game evaluation.
What killed A&M was when they lost. It was either 7 or 8 straight games in SEC play. You can't have a stretch like that and expect to be rightfully in the NCAA tournament.
All right, we're brought to you by the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue. It is almost time to go get on the lake, get on the river, and, hey, take along the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue. If you're headed to the White River, those monster browns are waiting on you. It's got that famous rolling action that's going to help you stay in the strike zone longer and catch more of those trophy rainbows and browns. Find the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops all over the place. The original Smithwick Suspending Rattling Rogue. Don't forget our bracket contest. Go to hitthatline.com. Click on bracket contest. Get signed up this morning, and you can win great prizes. Plus, you've got a ton of opportunities to win prizes in every round as well. It's the hitthatline.com bracket challenge, brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, Crabtree RV, and the Stadium Shop in Fayetteville.
All right, more of the Morning Rush coming up.
On the road to the Final Four with the Hogs is brought to you.
Support for the Hit That Line podcast network is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped recently launched the Ultimate Men's Hygiene Bundle, the Performance Package. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer to you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code HTL at manscaped.com. If my math is correct, that's about 8 million balls. And my family jewels just got added into that number because I just got my new Performance Package 4.0. And let me tell you what, guys, it is a game changer. If you're like me, you've tried other ways of daily grooming, of staying in shape, of when that time is right, you know what I mean, of how to make sure you look good down there. You've tried the razors, you've tried the knockoff brands, but it does not compare to what you're going to get in the Performance Package 4.0 by Manscaped. You're going to get the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. You're going to get the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag for all your goodies. Trust me, I didn't think that there was going to be a product out there that was going to make it safe to go down there. But with the Lawnmower 4.0 and everything else that comes in this package from Manscaped, you're going to be shaving and grooming so much safer. Get that 20% off and free shipping with the code HTL at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use HTL. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sacalé, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
The phrase in dire straits originated in the 1400s from sailors having to carefully navigate their vessels through narrow passages to avoid a shipwreck. So Far Away from Dire Straits is a song lamenting the struggle of a long-distance relationship over the phone. Mark Knopfler said, "It's a joke. It can't really be done over a long period of time because you both get exhausted with it. Sin has put us in dire straits with God, and that's why he feels so far away." Jesus said the passage to God is a narrow way, and he promised when he went so far away, the Holy Spirit would be here to stay. This isn't some hunch or intuition, but a conviction navigating you to God's holy word. When you have a real relationship with God, you have the person of the Spirit living inside you, guiding your walk of life every step of the way. Don't trust your feelings. Look up John chapter 16 and see if it sends you reeling. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Read about it.
Football might be over this season, but basketball is in full steam for both pros and college hoops. For all the latest odds, totals, player performance props, to where the next fired coach is going to land, BetOnline is the #1 spot for all your sports betting needs. Head over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Use our promo code BELIEVE to get started. That's promo code BLEAV. And it's not just basketball. BetOnline is your source for hockey, boxing, and UFC odds, right to the Olympic coverage, is the best in the business. From sports right down to your favorite Vegas casino games, BetOnline is your #1 online wagering destination. BetOnline, the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports and play your favorite games. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Building a home can be stressful. This is true whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Many times these issues result in a lawsuit. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partner. With experience representing homeowners as well as non-payment or other issues that could arise during construction. Contact Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. Or check them out on the web at artriallawyers.com.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
A good snap. The kick is on the way. It's a line drive. He missed it. He missed it. Arkansas wins. He missed it to the left, and the Razorbacks have won it.
Did you miss a segment or interview during the show? Find it in the Bud Light Next Morning Rush podcast. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
Back here on the Morning Rush. Again, what are your thoughts on Arkansas seeding? Getting Vermont, your 4 seed, heading out to Buffalo, New York. Drew's going to be there. We're going to tell you more about that. Arkansas baseball gets a series win over UIC. Plus the big news with Tom Brady coming back out of retirement and back into the National Football League. Sure seems like Jeff Darlington of ESPN was telling Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max earlier that he's going to be a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, much to the chagrin of our own Tom Murphy. I guarantee he's not happy this morning about that.
Hey, all of our coverage of March Madness is presented by Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort Sportsbook. The best way to bet on tournament action all March long is at Arkansas's only casino resort. And by Big Red Stores. Never pay full price again for gas at your neighborhood Big Red store with Big Red Rewards, and by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. Over $1 billion in proceeds have provided 650,000 plus scholarships for Arkansans everywhere. All of our coverage begins throughout the week, and Drew, like Ty just told you, is headed to Buffalo, New York. We'll be on the ground Tuesday night and ready to go for Arkansas's first game on Thursday. It's also brought to you by World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH is the number to call Ben and the crew. It's a free week coming up for March Madness. You can get free installation before the games, free voice-activated remotes, and a $100 Visa gift card when you sign up. Movie channels free for the first 90 days, and whole home DVR and HD in every room. It's all brought to you by World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH for WOW World of Wireless.
She nervous? She excited? And what's the kind of the expectation, Tommy, about for Drew this week that you think he needs to follow through on?
I mean, shouldn't be hard. I mean, just get a little more work done than Ty. I mean, actually, you know, like go to the games, cover the games, huh? Closed-toed shoes would be probably the first thing we should look at.
Might want to do that in Buffalo. Yeah, it's
right. Buffalo might be a little cold for that. So, and Buffalo is what? The home of?
Buffalo Wings.
Buffalo Wings. Everybody thinks they're something else, but Buffalo Wings actually originated there. So I think the other thing you got to do is have some wings while you're there. The original Buffalo sauce.
Drew asked if he wants us to bring him back anything, or if he's going to bring us back anything. I said Buffalo wing sauce. Right? That's like an easy ask. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what you would bring. I think if you wanted anything from there, maybe other than a picture of Niagara Falls, which you can get online, I could Google that. Maybe some wing sauce. Yeah.
What do you think about Arkansas's playing time? 8:20 at night. You played in the middle of the day last year. I'm trying to remember exactly what times it actually was. 8:20 Central Time. It'll be 9:20 Eastern. Well, Drew is, at least that's the expectation at this point in time. Tommy, what are your thoughts about them playing at that time?
Well, I think when you're 20, 21, 22 years old, 18, 19, just go through the team. Anything late at night is probably better than first thing in the morning. Now, I'm at a point in my life, I don't want to wait around all day. So there is the drawback of you wait around the hotel, but you get to sleep in. So what do people in the age group of these players enjoy? Probably sleeping in, sleep until lunchtime, all of and then going about your business. So I think I think 8:20 at night, which would be 9:20 there, is of no issue. Plus, you had the time change this week. I don't know about you guys, but the time change messes with me for about 5, 6, 7, 10 days. Mm-hmm. I don't know how it messes with these guys, but you also got that. And that's not just an Arkansas thing, obviously, but you're going to have some of these teams that have to travel multiple time zones, and then you've got the time change on top of that happened over the weekend. So, your sleep might be a little bit messed up here for a few days.
Have you adjusted all the clocks around you?
They all auto-adjust anymore. I mean, other than the one on the stove, the oven, I mean, everything else takes care of itself.
I have the analog clock next to
the one in my car, I've not done that yet. I only notice it when I'm driving. You can't change it until you put it in park, stop, and then I don't think about it then.
My computer one adjusted, my phone adjusted, but we had to do our microwave, stove, my analog clock next to my bed. Most of mine didn't auto-adjust. The only one that really auto-adjusted was my electronics, but the other stuff was just kind of, and you had to do it, which is not that bad. But I know for some people it screws them up initially that first day and having to transition from that Saturday night to that Sunday. I know that can be, you're just going around the house. I need to change this one. I need to change this one. I need to change this one. But again, 8:20 Central Time here is when Arkansas will play on Vermont. I know for Eric Musselman, he probably would rather play earlier in the day to just kind of get out of the way. I know he's going to be, I would think, fidgeting and not nervous, but just kind of, hey, I want to play this game, want to coach this game. I'm curious to see how they have. He's got a good chunk to game plan. We mentioned this earlier. Anthony Ruda, one of the assistants on Arkansas's basketball team, had them pegged between Vermont and Chattanooga. So Arkansas has already done some, I would think, prep work for the Catamounts. We'll tell you more about them this week. We'd be lying if Tommy or I had extensive knowledge or research done about this team that you're going to play on Thursday night. But it's going to be a fun one, and they're a different team than Arkansas is used to playing. And Arkansas's got to be ready to play. I don't know what the consensus is from Arkansas fans right now, being where they are in the bracket, having to face potentially Gonzaga in a Sweet 16. You got to go against UConn. I just know I'm really excited for Thursday, not just for Arkansas, but for the first and second round of the NCAA tournament.
Well, that's one of the best sports days of the year. 11 o'clock, you get games all day and all night. Friday the same way, but there's something about lifting the lid, lifting the curtain on Thursday that's just special. So, I mean, I know we got these play-in games they're going to do in Dayton. That doesn't count to me. I mean, we don't even require the bracket to be in by then. So those games are of so little importance that, hey, we'll give you a flyer. We'll give you a freebie on those games and whoever wins them. So that kind of tells you what the sports world in general, thinks about that. So, I mean, you'd be pretty hardcore in your pool when you guys, if you had to have your bracket in by Tuesday night or whatever to get those games in. But I don't know anyone that does that. So Thursday can't get here fast enough. It's like Christmas Day for a lot of people.
Yeah, and I'm excited about it. It should be a great time starting on Thursday, and we've got a bracket challenge that you should definitely be signing up for as well.
All right, we're brought to you by our friends at Standard Materials Group and APAC Arcola. They are looking for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have your CDL license without an automatic restriction, you want to be home every night, work with a great company that offers great pay, benefits, a huge sign-on bonus, profit sharing, awesome benefits package, and more. This is the company. It's Standard Materials Group and APAC Arcola. They need drivers in Northwest Arkansas, in Harrison, and in Fort Smith. Apply online at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group, they are equal opportunity employers.
When we come back, we'll talk more about the Texas A&M loss that Arkansas had on Saturday, the UIC sweep, and Tom Brady, biggest national story of the weekend. He's coming back to play football for the Bucs.
On the road to the Final Four with the Hogs is brought to you by Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort Sportsbook, Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, and Big Red Stores of Arkansas.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan. How can I help?
Hey, Jan. Say, is now a good time for a new Toyota?
You bet it is. Now through April 4th is the perfect time to shop for a RAV4, Tundra, Tacoma, Corolla, and more.
Amazing. I was just thinking of a RAV4.
Well, imagine yourself in a RAV4. Where would you go first?
Okay, I've just got my RAV4. I am picking up my friends and going out to lunch to celebrate.
Perfect. A bistro? A deli?
Skinny Al's Barbecue.
Whoa, okay. I love barbecue.
Huh. Well, then you should imagine yourself digging into the best ribs you've ever tasted.
I'm imagining you inviting me.
My imaginary self thought you'd never ask.
Let your imagination run wild at your participating Toyota dealer. Whether you're imagining yourself in a sporty Camry, versatile Highlander, or the spacious Venza, now's the time to ready, set, go get your Toyota today. Toyota, let's go places. Dealer inventory may vary.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Gelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality and price and comfort you like, and savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Gelco
for hard work and the great outdoors.
Hey, where's the rest of the beer?
I'm probably out unless you clowns brought some.
Well, I've already had 3. Who's going to get more?
Order it from your phone.
From where?
Sody's delivers.
You mean where my girlfriend gets her wine and those cheese plates?
And if you don't want to drive, that's where you can order it. My free beer is gone.
Sody's now delivers inside Fort Smith city limits. Just order from mysodys.com or download the Sody's app and order from your phone. Sody's Wine and Spirits. Experience different.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
Get the best value, service, and TV locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Stop in and ask us about the Hopper 3, Dish's most advanced DVR that delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recordings anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now. WOW World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for more details. Or online at shopwownow.com. World of Wireless is located at 601 Church Street in Barling next to Frank Rowe Furniture. That's 601 Church Street in Barling. Come see us at our new location.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
AJ gets the snap, gives it to Dominique. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Streaming live at hitthatline.com.
Back here on the Morning Rush, going to touch on the Tom Brady news that a lot of you have been probably had opinions on as the longtime football player decide, you know what, I'm going to play a little more, to look a little more at this region that Arkansas is playing in and kind of how it sets up. Plus, we'll talk about a little baseball this morning as DVH's squad gets a series sweep over UIC, all here on a Hot Take Monday.
Tom Brady had about 2 weeks with a wife and kids and said, no.
I'm good.
I'm good. I'm going back for another year. Hey, we're brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Spring weather is just around the corner. And with Wheels RV, you can enjoy the 50 state parks we got here in Arkansas. You can get down to the beach and enjoy the Redneck Riviera. You can get to New Orleans and watch the Final Four. There's so many places, and that's the flexibility that traveling with your own RV gives you. You can go anywhere, do any of the things you want. There's always quality places to call camp when you get there. Get the lifetime warranty with every new unit they sell. Great accessories, great service department, and you'll find wonderful service at Wheels RV. 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
First, let's go to the phone lines. Welcome in Danny, who is in Russellville. Danny, go ahead, man. I know you got some thoughts on this Arkansas basketball draw.
Good morning, guys. Well, to say that we didn't play well Saturday would be an understatement. I thought when we cut it down to 3, we had a chance, but they just reeled off 6 or 7 straight points. And for the first time we gave up that last 5 minutes. We just quit playing defense. They were getting dunk after dunk after dunk. That's the most disappointing thing. 2 out of our last 3 losses have been we got it handed to us. So hopefully we've been humbled, and we will take that as positive and realize you can't play like that and move on in the NCAA tournament. You look at that bracket, you got Arizona, not Arizona, but Gonzaga, you got Duke, you got Texas Tech, you got Connecticut, and I believe Alabama's in it. It's a tough region, and Arkansas is going to have to play their very best every game. So I'm glad we're finally know who we're playing, Vermont. Hopefully they don't shoot the 3 well, because we've been last couple games having trouble stopping that 3. But anyway, guys, it's a good time of year. Congratulations to the baseball team for showing some grit. Caden Wallace, 13 RBIs in 4 games. So baseball team's starting to hit a little bit. And MLB is back, guys. And anyway, you have a good day. Thanks for taking my call.
Appreciate it, Danny. Now, I'll push back a little bit on something you said. Only in one of the losses, they got crushed in the first half against Tennessee, but they came clawing back and almost won that basketball game. So you've really only got embarrassed in one of these games against Texas A&M. And I will say the straight-line drives they gave up, the dunks that they gave up to Jackson and Hefner and some of the other guys that were just getting to the rim and the rack at will was frustrating. I know it was irritating Eric Musselman because that's not Arkansas defense. He said after the game, that's not Arkansas basketball. And last year, you almost beat LSU. JD has that turnover late. Game's over in the semis. This year, you get rocked in the second half by Texas A&M. And that's, again, what Muss said. It's not Arkansas basketball. And I asked him, it's like, hey, is there any comparisons, what you said this team last year after they lost to this year? And he just kind of went in. He's like, we've got to figure out how to get better. We got to figure out how we do this, because I know Texas A&M wanted it more, Tommy, but that's no excuse to say how they played in the second half.
A&M shot over 50% in the first half on making threes. They did the same thing in the second half, but the lane was so open and dunks were so plentiful. You know how many three-point attempts A&M even had in the second half?
Say less than double digits.
Probably 4. They went 2 of 4. This was a team that's had the hot hand. How did they end up in this game? Making threes along the way in the SEC tournament. They were a hot three-point shooting team. But what do you take anytime you get an open look, a layup or a dunk? It was so open, they weren't even taking threes, and that was money for them. And they still shot, 53% for the game behind the three-point line. You're not going to win any games allowing someone to make 1 out of 2, basically, on the average. And you're never going to win with this Arkansas team when you get 9 combined, 9 total points from Jalen Williams and J.D. Note in one ball game. So it was a wonder that it wasn't worse than the final score of 82-64 when you consider your 2 best players, and Williams and Note had 9 points.
That was the
combined.
two guys we talked to yesterday at the bracket reveal, and I know they both know that they have to play better. Arkansas is going to ride or die with Jalen Williams and J.D. Notae, not just from a points perspective, but a playing perspective. J.D. has to stay out of foul trouble. That's the question I asked him about. And it's difficult to – because you don't want a player not to play defense, but he does pick up fouls when he's going for steals or taking a risk that I know is irritating to not only himself but Eric Musselman and the rest of the team, because when he's out of the game, there's a clear and stark difference what the Arkansas offense and defense looks like than when he's on the floor. I don't know what his plus-minus is relative to the rest of the team, but Tommy, it's got to be in the top three the way that he provides positive energy on both ends.
Were you talking about Notae or what?
Notae.
Notae. I mean, so, he gets 19 the day before, and he's just got to be – and we talked about this last week, and it was in reference to Jalen, but I think the same is true in Notae. You got to be smarter with some of the defensive plays, and I know aggression's just part of what you're trained to do, but when you know you've got a foul, when you've got to play early, you can't go all out in the first 5 minutes to defend every play and pick up that foul. And I was really surprised just listening to Jimmy Dykes talk about the metrics and the percentages of playing with 2 fouls for the balance of the first half. He was shocked, and I never thought of it in kind of in the lens or the focus that Jimmy put on it, but it was rare for Eric Musselman to put a player back in with 2 fouls before intermission. And that's what you did with Notae. He picked up the huge third foul before halftime, and that really, I don't want to say doomed Arkansas because they clawed back and gave themselves a chance, but every time Arkansas put themselves maybe on the threshold of finally taking the lead in the ball game, A&M comes up with a big stop or a big bucket, and that's what happened. It's hard to continue to play the way you want to play when you know your back's pressed against the wall with foul trouble, and that's exactly where Notae ended up for the majority of that ball game.
And I know with Eric Musselman, he didn't have to do that against LSU, but you did against Texas A&M because they were starting to pull away, and he felt like in that situation that if the game was going to get out of hand, you might as well do it with JD on the floor. It still got out of hand. Now, you got it close second half. Like Danny said, I think it cut within 3 points, but you just weren't able to get it done. Next caller will stay in that kind of area in Russellville. JW is in London. JW, thoughts on the NCAA tournament, man?
Hey, good morning. Well, before I get to the NCAA, I agree with one of the SEC coaches who's been clamoring for this for years. The championship game needs to be on Saturday, not on Sunday. And I wish they would rearrange that schedule to make that happen.
You're talking about the SEC championship game.
What's that?
You're talking about the SEC championship game.
Yes, the SEC thing. I think it would just give more meaning to the tournament. But that's just me. But anyhow, my take on Buffalo, it is what it is. Any bracket would have its ups and downs in it. I think we'll do fine in it. Mine is more a travel recommendation. Less than 30 minutes away from Buffalo is Niagara Falls. The don't miss experience in Niagara Falls is the maid of the miss. And I don't care if you've been to Niagara before or if you've never been or if you've been before, the maid of the mist is just, it's a boat that travels down up almost under the fall, sometimes under the fall. And they give you raincoats and the whole business. And me and my son were there, 15, 18 years ago, and we still talk about it. It was kind of the highlight of the trip, and I highly recommend it. Like I said, it's only 30 minutes away, and there's a lot of history that goes along. It's connected to Buffalo. It has to do with the four families in New York and Niagara Falls and everything, and that all gets kind of fed to you on this trip. So, anyway, I'm ready for Thursday. I'm all ready. You have a great day.
Thanks, JW. Appreciate it. Yeah, I've heard Niagara Falls is a beautiful place.
I've never been there. Have you ever been to Niagara? Are you going to go to Niagara Falls? Drew, yeah.
Bring your passport if you can, because it's in Canada, right?
No,
it's not in Canada.
It's split. Half of it. You're half right.
Okay.
Which is normal.
Half right.
About half right. That's about.
So it is half in Canada, right?
It's not in Canada. It's half in Canada.
Whatever. So it's in Canada. It's part of it is in Canada. I didn't think someone had told me that, and I was like, I think that's right. What this bracket that he's kind of referring to, I think it's an entertaining. It's not going to be easy for Arkansas to get to a Final Four based on where you are. You got the number 1 overall seed in Gonzaga, which is a team. Have you watched them at all?
About 2 times early. I mean, here's the problem. Most of their conference games aren't very entertaining. I mean, you can watch about 10 or 12, 15 minutes of the first half. That West Coast Conference beat most of those teams pretty handily. So not a lot of their games that are worth watching. And you got to stay up till midnight to watch them, too.
Crack of dawn. Outside of San Francisco and St. Mary's, who I think's beat them at least once, and I gave them a game in the West Coast Conference Championship, they really haven't faced a lot of opposition in their conference itself. They've lost to Alabama. They've lost to Duke this season. Duke is also in this bracket. The thing about Gonzaga is they have Andrew Nembhard, who's a transfer from Florida. He's a really good guard. And then they have Chet Holmgren, who is the number 1 player in this past class, 7'1" guy that can shoot it and get to the rim. Drew Timmy's a guy that you're probably going to hate if you have to play him. He's a really obnoxious power forward that's going to play that position. So that's a team. Memphis being in there, Drew, I know that's appealing to you. UConn, that is, I know our buddy Aaron Torres, who you hear on Halftime on Fridays, that's going to be a fun one. There's going to be a lot of animation. If Arkansas gets by Vermont, I don't know if you'll see 2 more animated coaches than Dan Hurley and Eric Musselman on the sidelines in that one.
And I'll be interested to see, because I thought the officiating allowed coaches to vent and to voice displeasure and kind of work the sidelines a little harder. I'll be interested to see if they have to dial that back in the midst of the tournament, because I think the SEC, when compared to some other leagues this year, maybe gave a little more leash. Muss and these coaches that get a little hot under the collar may not have that leeway when the NCAA tournament starts.
I know that Wade got the tech. I don't remember if anyone else got a tech in the SEC tournament. I thought Muss was going to get one. He was still hot after the game. Yurachek was funny. I'm watching, so we're directly across from the Arkansas bench from where I was sitting, and you have Muss, who's strolling up and down the sideline, and then Yurachek is probably 3 or 4 rows behind him, kind of doing the same thing. I know he's frustrated. I always talk about the passion of your athletics director, but kind of like you, I do wonder if there's kind of the leash gets smaller now. That, and I don't know how you do it. Wade said, what led to his tech was the stuff he had said before, and then he asked a question and got that, and you take Will Wade at his word. I don't know a lot of you that would do that because of some of the stuff that just happened with him getting let go this weekend. But that is a good kind of thing to monitor, how they officiate and how, because we know Muss gets after it during games, and so that's something you got to think about as well.
The Rules Committee, which is comprised of coaches, made bench decorum and sportsmanship a priority this year. I think the SEC, when you look at what has went on around the country, has given the coaches a little more leeway than maybe some other conferences. So I think that could get tightened up. So that's just one thing to watch for not just Musselman, but other coaches around this league that may be used to one thing, and it might be not a ton different, just slightly different going into this event.
You also got Alabama in your bracket, Texas Tech. There's a potential rematch there, even though I don't think they're going to be able to get by Duke. Michigan State and Duke would be a fun round of 32 game. I really like the not necessarily the pathway to the Final Four, but I think this is going to be a really fun bracket. People are saying that Gonzaga is the number 1 overall seed. Didn't really get any favors based on the bracket that they have to go through to get to the Final Four.
I heard the guys before us on the national show talking about the difficulty of this bracket, and exactly, just to reinforce what you're saying, that Gonzaga, if they are the number 1 overall seed, they didn't get any favors, and really you normally have maybe an easier path to even the Sweet 16. So it will be interesting to see who can survive and come out of this top half, even to get to the Elite 8.
Mm-hmm. Let's get to some quick hitting headlines this morning. Again, if you want to jump in on the Arkansas A&M loss, you want to touch on the NCAA tournament, we'll touch on this Tom Brady and also the baseball team in just a sec. Feel free, 877-377-6963.
All right, we're brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. March Madness is here. Above ground pools right now, made by Doughboy, the very best you can find on the market. Cash and carry savings start at $19.95. They got in-house specials with $900 discounts, and even semi-in-ground pools that you can ask about that have a free upgrade to a robotic cleaner. Pool season is just around the corner. We're almost to April at this point, baby. Hey, get to Burton Pools and Spa, Springdale and in Fort Smith, online at burtonpools.com. Ask about payments as low as $87 a month on your Doughboy pool. Burton Pools and Spa, Springdale and in Fort Smith, online at burtonpools.com. your source for backyard fun.
Arkansas women's basketball is going to play this Friday against Utah in Austin. They're in the NCAA tournament once again for Mike Neighbors. I don't know how many Texas fans, Tommy, are going to be cheering for Neighbors' squad down there. And what was the year that was it when U.S. Reed, was it 81 where he hit the shot over Louisville and that was in Austin? Is that correct?
That's right in that time frame. I'd have to go. You're exactly right. It was in Austin against Louisville.
And there's all these Texas
one of the
fans.
most dramatic shots, dramatic moments in the history of the program. And maybe one of the most dramatic game-ending shots in NCAA tournament history, if you really want to stop and think about it.
Brian Gumbel is in studio, and they flip it back to Marv Albert, and he just says, "Thanks, Brian. Time winding down. You know, the majority of you know the call." And Reed hits the shot, and that place is pandemonium at the site. This is what I love about the NCAA tournament. Certain shots are just crazy. The atmosphere is nuts, and hopefully we'll get a bunch of them come Thursday. But that's who Mike Neighbors' squad and his team again will play the Utah Utes this Friday in the NCAA tournament. I have not seen a game time for that yet. I probably need to go back and double check on it. We talked about Arkansas. They're playing at 8:20 on Thursday night Central Time, not Eastern. It'll be 9:20 when Drew is in Buffalo, so a late one there.
Long day.
Yeah, it is a long day. But to me, I get it from the players and coaches want to play, but in our perspective, because we have to wake up in the time we do. I think Arkansas fans are happy with this because a lot of people, Tommy, a lot of people work Thursday and Friday. My buddies are taking off because this is like a religion to them, but most people are working on Thursdays and Fridays. If you play during the day, it'd be a lot harder to get off work or
this is great
concentrate.
For the fans. Yeah,
I think fans are happy with the time at 8:20 on Thursday night, even though there'll be a little bit of anticipation and nervousness from their perspective, but from a watchability standpoint, I think fans are pumped about this game time.
You get off on time with the game at 8:20, and usually the NCAA tournament's fairly close because TV's TV's in control of all of it. You're probably done and in bed, by 11 o'clock that night. It's going to be probably 10:40 or 10:45 when the game is over if everything goes smoothly. So a little bit later night, maybe a little more grogginess on Friday morning, but it also means Saturday you'll play sometime very late afternoon or in the evening on Saturday as well. So it kind of gives you an idea of, you win and where you'll be. So Saturday night maybe you center your plans or be careful about how you make plans for Saturday evening. Don't make promises you don't want to keep on Saturday night. I got an anniversary this week, so Saturday's kind of the day I've got to make some promises. We may have to center some things around basketball. So
is she going to be okay with that?
She doesn't care.
She doesn't care? Is it just one of those things where you guys have been married so long, the anniversaries? We all went to, y'all went to Branson for, what was that? Was that?
I don't know. A getaway from Thai weekend, I think. So.
Okay.
Valentine's Day. I don't remember.
It was Valentine's Day. Well, I didn't know if that would take place of this or whatever.
Oh, no. So our anniversary's on St. Patrick's Day. It's actually on Thursday, but we'll probably wait till the weekend to do something. So Saturday will be kind of. So I'm already thinking about that. All right, the game's going to be Saturday night. I got to figure all this stuff out, how to do it. So.
Does she like green beer?
I don't. Probably there won't be any green beer consumed. No.
I didn't know if that was something that y'all did since y'all's wedding. That is kind of cool. That it's. I guess it doesn't fall on St. Patrick's Day every year, but it did this year. Or does
March 17th is St. Patrick's Day.
It's every year.
Every year.
Okay. I get mixed up with the holidays that are different.
That's why we did it. We got married in Mexico. It'll be 18 years ago this Thursday, and we got there. We didn't really have a date picked out. They're like, "Well, what day you want to do it?" And we were looking at the calendar, the options. Didn't matter to us, but I think it was a Wednesday that year. We just picked that day because it'd always be on St. Patrick's Day. So.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
What did you think about now? You're gonna have. I didn't watch a lick of baseball. Did you watch any baseball?
I watched a little bit. Basketball consumed the weekend. I understand with your travels and what you had going on made it difficult. But they played Thursday and played 2, then didn't play Friday, and we had weather and high school basketball going on. But I'll be honest, I was a lot more in tune, not just with Arkansas, but all the games at the SEC tournament than I was with baseball this weekend. But it's kind of time to start ratcheting up that concentration and focus because this weekend you begin SEC play. Kentucky's coming in for Dave's first SEC weekend, so it's kind of flown under the radar because of the success of basketball. But we're going to have to start paying a little bit more attention And I know this. Once basketball is concluded the next couple of weeks, hopefully, maybe you got 3 more weekends. We'd love that for basketball.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be all in on baseball here very soon.
What do you think about back to basketball? I know the SEC tournament. I was hoping, and I hate saying this, but I was kind of hoping Texas A&M would get that automatic qualifier if they beat Tennessee on Sunday. They didn't. Tennessee ended up winning the SEC championship after they beat Kentucky in the semifinals on Saturday afternoon. Texas A&M, kind of the big things is they don't make the tournament. Other SEC headlines, Mike White going from Gainesville, Florida to Athens, Georgia as the new basketball coach. And then Will Wade, a day after being asked about his future at LSU, is subsequently fired for multiple level 1 violations that we're going to have to discuss this morning as well.
Yeah, and fired going into the NCAA tournament, which I don't know was maybe LSU begging, hey, don't set us up in a bad situation. I think it was inevitable, and I think obviously the administration at LSU said, hey, if we've reached the conclusion about that we are going to make a change, why even go into the NCAA tournament? So he doesn't survive the SEC tournament and beyond. So LSU will be in an interim situation looking for a new coach. Is Gainesville? Obviously Florida's a better job than Georgia. What did you read into that decision by Mike White?
That he was going to get fired and he jumped the ship early. What did you
got
think?
ahead of the sheriff? I think so, because I don't think there's any way you look at the SEC and the ranking of jobs, and Kentucky's the best job in the league in basketball, but it's Florida or Arkansas, depending on your perspective, 2 and 3. I think most people would have maybe, depending on where you live, we'd have the Arkansas job at 2. A lot of other people in this league would have Florida at 2, but those are the best 3 jobs in the league, and I don't know that it's really debatable that those are the top 3 jobs.
Lon Kruger took Florida to a Final Four in 94 when you were there and won the national championship. Billy Donovan took him to several Elite Eights, 2 national championships, won it back-to-back in 06-07. But the consensus is, if you ask most national analysts, that the Arkansas job is still at number 2. They felt like most people would tell you that Billy Donovan, as good of a college coach as he was, made that job better than when it actually is. The arena, the facilities, the fan base, it doesn't stack up to Arkansas. Kentucky 1, Arkansas 2, Florida 3, I think would be kind of the fair vantage point perspective. Now, some of you think that Arkansas is the best job in the SEC. I got news for you. It's not. Kentucky still is. That's why Eddie Sutton left to go to Lexington. Most people, if the Kentucky job ever opened up, I think that Eric Musselman would probably be a candidate for that. Now, you want Cal there because that you don't want that to happen, but that's just my opinion on that. Last name, Tom Brady, coming back. These past 2 months, I've realized the place that I should be is on the field and not in the stands. This time will come, but not now. I love my teammates, and I love my supportive family. Without them, none of this is possible. Coming back for his 23rd season due to unfinished business. Now, you speculated that it was after being with the wife and kids for a certain time, it's time to go back to work.
I tongue in cheek, but, maybe it's him being at home. They said after a couple of weeks, listen, you need to go back to work. So, retirement's tough. Putting it down when you feel like you can still physically do it, that's tough for a lot of people. So, Tom Brady, no surprise, he's coming back for another year. We're brought to you by our friends at Farm Credit, and they are friends. They're people you go to church with, your kids go to school with them. They make financing all sizes of farms, livestock, homes, even recreational land easy. Ask about patronage cash as well. They hand out millions of dollars a year in patronage cash back to their members. It's usually about enough to make one payment a year. That's part of the profits they share with their members at Farm Credit. So when you go in to talk about your next financing situation, ask Farm Credit about patronage cash and what you could expect from there. It's all at Farm Credit, your local Farm Credit office. Go to myaglender.com for details. That's myaglender.com for Farm Credit.
When we come back, we'll look more at Arkansas's bracket. Buffalo this Thursday in the KeyBank Center. Get ready.
March Madness is here, and Burton Pools and Spas has all the savings you need to make your summer a success. Doughboy Above Ground Pools in-stock select packages up to $900 off. Cash and carry savings start at $19.95. Ask Burton staff about low-interest financing and payments as low as $87 a month on Doughboy Above Ground Pools. Burton Pools and Spas, making your backyard dreams come true in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Sports fans, it's March Madness. Where are you going to bet? I know where I will. BUSR, of course. NCAA basketball, NBA, MLB, you name it, they got it. Besides sports and racing, you can play over 300 casino games at BUSR.com. And remember, no download is needed to play these games. Sign up today and get an exclusive 100% deposit bonus by going to BUSR.com/Morning Rush. That's BUSR.com/Morning Rush. Bet with confidence. Bet with BUSR.
The temperatures may be cooling down, but at Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas, the deals are still red hot. Whether you are enjoying one of over 50 state parks or tailgating with your favorite team, Wheels has the right RV to help you enjoy fall in the natural state. And at Wheels RV, every new unit comes with a lifetime warranty. So get out to Wheels and see why they were voted best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV. Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Will your bracket be better than Tommy, Derek, Ty, Clay, Maddie, Andy, Drew, Phil, Zach, and others? Then prove it. Sign up for the HitThatLine.com Bracket Challenge presented by Buffalo Wild Wings, the Stadium Shop on Razorback, and Crabtree RV in Alma. Registration is easy. Just find the contest on HitThatLine.com. The HitThatLine.com Bracket Challenge is also brought to you in part by Sassy's Barbecue, Buy Right Auto Sales, and Swift Jewelers. Sign up today at HitThatLine.com.
Let Carco Car Sales, formerly Hertz Car Sales, show you how easy it is to buy a quality used car. Carco Auto Sales has been serving the River Valley in eastern Oklahoma for over 40 years and believe in fair prices, superior service, and treating people right. The friendly and knowledgeable staff is here to help you find the car you deserve, priced right to fit your budget, so you can leave with a peace of mind knowing that you are getting a quality, well-maintained vehicle. Come see the team at Carco Auto Sales, formerly Hertz Car Sales, at 2810 Midland Boulevard today. Give them a call at 783-1722 or check them out at buyfromcarco.com. Carco Auto Sales, when you're ready.
Looking for something a bit lighter for lunch or dinner? Art's Barbecue and Burgers has added blackened or grilled tilapia to the menu with all of your favorite sides. If catfish is what pleases your palate, every Friday night is all-you-can-eat catfish at Art's Barbecue. Art's Barbecue and Burgers has it all for your lighter lunch or dinner or your weekend pig out. And don't forget $1 off all burgers every Saturday. Call 452-2550 for to-go.
The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit
Your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
For a dependable, fuel-efficient tractor from a company committed to the future, choose a Branson tractor. Each of our tractors is backed by a 6-year limited warranty with models available ranging in horsepower from 22 to 58. You are sure to find the tractor that is right for you. Make sure you call or stop in today at the new location for Bush Tractor at 6100 South 0 Street in Fort Smith. Again, that is 6100 South 0 Street in Fort Smith. Or you can check them out online at bushtractor.com.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, an increase in the cloud cover could see a few showers across the south. High temperatures today in the upper 50s. Showers with a few isolated thunderstorms tonight. And overnight low will drop down in the mid to upper 40s. Tuesday, a chance of showers, a few thunderstorms, or high temperatures on Tuesday into the lower 60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Outside is fun again with Mosquito Joe. Mosquito Joe rids your yard of pesky mosquitoes, ticks, and fleas so you can enjoy being outside. Call Mosquito Joe at 479-202-9960 or visit ArkansasMosquitoJoe.com.
You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith.
This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
Because we got to get better. I mean, that's not how we want to play. So I'm not brushing this under and crumpling up the stat sheet and saying, well, tomorrow we get to see who we're playing against and we'll get ready for the NCAA tournament tonight. We got to dissect this game. And then, like I said, when we know who our opponent is, we'll get ready to play them.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
People who really want to have a good time won't come to a slaughterhouse. And we've got entirely too many troublemakers here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
I don't like you because you're dangerous. That's right. I am dangerous.
Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
I hit the 7-iron like John Daly hits the 3.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
You just got to keep living, man.
And Tommy Kraft.
We follow orders or people die. Are we clear?
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes,
So the Key Bake Sitter in Buffalo is where you'll play your first NCAA tournament game this Thursday night at 8:20. You heard Eric Musselman following the Texas A&M loss on Saturday. You could feel the frustration in his voice. They've got a lot of work to do to get better for this game coming out that loss. We've seen them win 14 of 17. Really only one loss in that stretch was bad, but it was the last one. They want to get their tastes out of their mouths. We'll see if they can do that come this Thursday night. As we talk more about that and some other conversations surrounding Tom Brady, Arkansas baseball, and then also the coaching movement within the Southeastern Conference as well. Tommy, on a Hot Take Monday.
Hot Take Monday always brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. The lifetime warranty is what brings people in from near and far because you know you can count on Wheels RV to be there, and they stand behind it by including a lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell. And it's the top brands at the best prices. So no worries when you buy at Wheels RV. Again, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV. We're on the road this week, headed to Buffalo, New York. I have finally wised up, and we're sending Drew instead of Ty to cover the Razorbacks on the road. It's all brought to you by Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort Sportsbook. The best way to bet on tournament action all March long is at Arkansas's only casino resort. By Big Red Stores, never pay full price for gas again at your neighborhood Big Red store with Big Red Rewards. And by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, over $1 billion in proceeds have provided $650,000 or 650,000 scholarships for Arkansans everywhere. So we'll be on the road starting Tuesday. So you'll have halftime, I guess, Tuesday live from Buffalo, or part of it at least. And then we'll be there from Tuesday on. So ready to go as the Hogs play Ty on Thursday night at 8:20 against Vermont.
Yeah, it's cool to have them on the first day. What I thought was interesting, we'd have to go back and look through the NCAA tournament selection show, but, I mean, is there a time – y'all have to help me out on this and do it 877-377-6963. We're there, I'm seeing this setup, and I look over at a couple media buddies. I'm like, Arkansas is about to be this seed because they did a 5 seed in UConn, the setup, and you see the Gonzaga, and I'm seeing Buffalo. Because what did I tell you? Buffalo, Portland, Milwaukee. Yeah. And I'm sitting there, and it's like, it's going to be Arkansas right here. Sure enough, they announced Arkansas, and that was within the first 5 minutes of the selection show.
If that long.
You
didn't have to wait long to know your fate. And listen, if you're a bubble team and you're A&M, for instance, yesterday, you're waiting to hear your name called. Wait. You didn't. Arkansas wasn't on the edge of worrying about if they were going to be called, just where and what seed. And it was good to see that kind of get out of the way early. I mean, Actually, you were in the room when the team found out the news. I don't know if you'd like to maybe let the party build and the atmosphere tighten up a little bit. It kind of ended that watch party fairly quick.
I'm going to be honest. I was ready to get home. I went straight from XNA to Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. The announcement took place within, like we said, first 2 or 3 minutes. Did the interviews with JD, did the interviews with Jalen, Muss, got in the car, went back to Fort Smith. So I was kind of happy from that perspective. I know there's a lot of happy fans. It's cool to see Danielle Mussman was kind of the PA and doing the whole setup and everything. So it's cool to see that. And the Arkansas team, they're excited. You can tell their smile on their faces. What I think is good for this team is you look at this bracket, it's not easy. To get to a Final Four, you're going to have to beat, I'm just going to roll it out, Vermont, UConn, Gonzaga, Duke. If you want to get to a Final Four, that's probably the 4 teams that you're going to have to beat. Well, it's set up like that. We know the NCAA tournament is often filled with upsets. Maybe you'll get lucky like you did last year when Oral Roberts beat Ohio State in that first-round game, and they gave you all you wanted in that Sweet 16 game, but that was the setup last year, so we'll have to wait and see. But this team just played the toughest stretch in college basketball, not the SEC, but college basketball, the last 5 games. They know, and I'm talking about regular season, they know how difficult college basketball can be. And they just got punched in the mouth, too. That's the thing about Gonzaga. Gonzaga has played, yes, they played Duke, lost. Yes, they played Alabama, lost. But they haven't played anyone else in their conference. When Gonzaga gets in the NCAA tournament and they go up against a tougher, more physical team, a lot of times they get punched in the mouth. Is Arkansas that team that can do that? I don't know. I want to see what they do in these first 2 games. Heck, I want to see what they do Thursday night if they can even get by Vermont. I just know that it is going to be a fun road, even though you got to go from Buffalo, New York to potentially San Francisco, California, to clear across the country.
But what are your options? You either do that or bow out.
Yeah.
So bowing out in your first option. So it'll be fun. I mean, I think Muss, anytime he can play back in, I guess it's not technically his home state, but kind of what he might consider because of his career and the length of time they've lived in California. It's not Southern Cal, but it is California. I think it'd be cool. And how many times I know Arkansas played in a postseason in baseball not long ago in Northern California near San Francisco. I say not long ago. It's probably been 15 years now. Let's stop and think about it. There's not been a lot of times where you've gotten a chance to go watch the team in the San Francisco area. So I think it'd be a cool trip. I think there's probably already people looking at flights, looking at the overly priced hotels in San Francisco, looking at all the options, thinking, hey, I'm going to have my plan. I'm going to be ready if they make the next weekend. Buffalo's tough. It's not as attractive. I think San Francisco will be very attractive to a lot of fans. And the team, you don't really care. You just want to play next weekend.
The good thing about this year is if you went to Indianapolis last year, you knew the bubble environment. You didn't know it firsthand. You might have known it secondhand based on what the team was having to go through. They actually get some semblance of what a reasonable NCAA experience is like. Now, I don't know if they're going to go eat buffalo wings. I don't know if they're going to go to Niagara Falls. I don't know what the team has planned. They were just on a yacht this last week in Tampa, and I know they had a lot of fun because I was asking them about that. But I know that was a big deal for talking with JD and Jalen and Muss, and Muss said he wouldn't go back to bubble for anything, basically, which was kind of funny. But you get back to some semblance of normalcy during the NCAA tournament. And I was happy not only for Audis Tony and Stanley Amude, who have never been to an NCAA tournament. One of the reasons they came to Arkansas was because of that. But this team actually gets to experience what this tournament is all about this week.
Yeah, I mean, got to experience what Bud Walton was all about this season. You do think about all the things you missed out on during COVID and the NCAA tournament while you still were able to have it. You're right. It was under very strange and dark conditions as far as the way the players had to be quarantined. If you wanted to go exercise, you could go to that baseball park and run around the outfield. I mean, it was just very odd, very weird, and I don't blame Muss's feelings for that at all about, hey, never going back to that because really wasn't worth it in the end. But that focus, that us against the world, closing in and circling the wagons would work for him a year ago. We'll see how it kind of goes in a normal environment. this year.
KeyBank Center, so you're playing in back-to-back hockey arenas. You just played in Amalie Arena, where the home of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now you're going up to Buffalo to play the home of the Sabres. Brad Nessler is going to be on the call in TNT on Thursday night.
We're going to tell you more about our bracket contest later in the show, but go to hitthatline.com, click on Bracket Challenge, and get signed up. If you're looking for somewhere on Thursday night to watch the game or anytime during March Madness, go to Joe's Grill and Cantina. Saturday will be Dollar Tacos. Also, Taco Tuesday tomorrow with Dollar Tacos all day long on Tuesdays at Joe's. Drew and I was there on Friday and watched the game, and Fajita Friday. That's great. Always half-price apps and taps during the game. So, affordable beer, great appetizers, and it's all at Joe's for every game. That's Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps in Fort Smith.
When we come back, we'll hear Tom Murphy's thoughts on Arkansas basketball, their seeding, talk a little baseball, and I know he is probably not happy that Tom Brady is coming back this morning.
On the road to the Final Four with the Hogs is brought to you by Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort Sportsbook.
Support for the Hit That Line Podcast Network is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped recently launched the Ultimate Men's Hygiene Bundle, the Performance Package. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer to you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code HTL at manscaped.com. If my math is correct, that's about 8 million balls. And my family jewels just got added into that number because I just got my new Performance Package 4.0. And let me tell you what, guys, it is a game changer. If you're like me, you've tried other ways of daily grooming, of staying in shape, of when that time is right, you know what I mean, of how to make sure you look good down there. You've tried the razors, you've tried the knockoff brands, but it does not compare to what you're going to get in the Performance Package 4.0 by Manscaped. You're going to get the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. You're going to get the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag for all your goodies. Trust me, I didn't think that there was going to be a product out there that was going to make it safe to go down there. But with the Lawnmower 4.0 and everything else that comes in this package from Manscaped, you're going to be shaving and grooming so much safer. Get that 20% off and free shipping with the code HTL at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use HTL. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sacalé, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
The phrase in dire straits originated in the 1400s from sailors having to carefully navigate their vessels through narrow passages to avoid a shipwreck. So Far Away from Dire Straits is a song lamenting the struggle of a long-distance relationship over the phone. Mark Knopfler said, "It's a joke. It can't really be done over a long period of time because you both get exhausted with it. Sin has put us in dire straits with God, and that's why he feels so far away." Jesus said the passage to God is a narrow way, and he promised when he went so far away, the Holy Spirit would be here to stay. This isn't some hunch or intuition, but a conviction navigating you to God's holy word. When you have a real relationship with God, you have the person of the Spirit living inside you, guiding your walk of life every step of the way. Don't trust your feelings. Look up John chapter 16 and see if it sends you reeling. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Read about it.
Football might be over this season, but basketball is in full steam for both pros and college hoops. For all the latest odds, totals, player performance props, to where the next fired coach is going to land, BetOnline is the #1 spot for all your sports betting needs. Head over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Use our promo code BELIEVE to get started. That's promo code BLEAV. And it's not just basketball. BetOnline is your source for hockey, boxing, and UFC odds, right to the Olympic coverage, is the best in the business. From sports right down to your favorite Vegas casino games, BetOnline is your #1 online wagering destination. BetOnline, the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports and play your favorite games. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Your old ride makes you feel second string. Slam dunk your junk and start driving better today in a nicer, newer car from Rath Auto Resources. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for spring in our Meineke Car Care Center with a free AC check, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. But hurry, this deal's done at the buzzer. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Credit requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price determines actual trade allowance. Negative equity may be refinanced. Offer absolutely ends March 31st, 2022.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Ball, they fake a pitch left. KJ into the end zone. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Watch the Morning Rush on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. Just search Hit That Line.
No, we're getting excited for Thursday night, and this week it's one of the best weeks in all of sports. You couple that with St. Patrick's Day on Thursday, it is going to be a good one. Arkansas baseball plays SEC opponents for the first time this weekend as well when the Wildcats and the Hogs face off. And we'll talk about all that with more with Tom Murphy coming up in about 5 minutes or so.
All right, Riley Farm Dental is at 5901 Riley Park Drive at the entrance to Riley Farms in South Fort Smith. Dr. Brogan, I guarantee you, him and Dr. Sparkman are already looking over their brackets. Bo Sparkman, the dentist there, there's no bigger Hog fan than what you're going to find with Dr. Bo Sparkman. They give their patients a better life, more comfortable experience, a better smile with each and every visit. So if your family, maybe you got a family member that I've got one that's not comfortable about the dentist. It is not something they look forward to. Doesn't bother me, but it bothers them. Well, hey, this is the place to go because they make their patients comfortable every time. It's all at Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, 226-3500 for an appointment, or see more at RileyFarmDental.com. All right, we all are thinking about now filling out a bracket, right? So where do you go? Or maybe you're putting your office group together. Guys, we know that happens here at the radio station. Come over to our bracket contest. It's your bracket contest as well. HitThatLine.com/bracket contest. It's presented by Crabtree RV in Alma, Buffalo Wild Wings, and the Stadium Shop. Ty, we got some awesome prizes here. The first place prize for the best overall bracket is going to win a great Razorback couch from the Stadium Shop, a pop-up fire pit from Crabtree RV, and $150 to Buffalo Wild Wings. We have prizes for every round of the tournament. The best first-round bracket gets a 65-inch smart TV from our friends at Buy Right Auto Sales. There's gift cards at minimum valued at $150 for every round. We got a 16 and 14 bracket. If you haven't checked it out, you need to do so now and get your bracket in. You can register right now, fill your bracket out whenever you go. Even bring your groups over here to have their bracket challenge with us on ours. It's all at hitthatline.com/bracket challenge. It's also brought to you by River Valley Truck Outfitters in Fort Smith, Sassy's Red House in Fayetteville, and National Auto Trim in Harrison.
So what happens if Drew, Derek, Zach, me, Maddie, Andy, or someone within our group is either the overall winner, the first round winner, the Sweet 16? What ends up happening on that?
Not really worried about that.
You don't think you're going to win?
Based on our performance as the quote expert pickers last year, no, I'm not not really concerned
Was it
about that at this
was it
point.
that bad last year? I'm trying to remember. I remember.
I see why you blocked it out. Do I need to pull up the spreadsheet from last year? Pull out the results?
I legitimately don't remember. You might have to kind of let me know about that. I usually have a pretty good memory, but apparently it was.
DQ had a better bracket than you. So
I think it was one of those things where I had a bad bracket leading up, but I didn't pick Baylor to win it all. So I think I came back.
I think you started out very poor, but like you said, with Baylor, you made up some ground at the end.
Yeah, I ended up being better than I think a good chunk of our local shows, but it was so bad because I remember last year I picked so many upsets. I just felt like that this was the year that would be a bunch of them, with it being blocked in at Indy and that whole setup. I just like, this is going to be the weirdest NCAA tournament we've ever had, and it ended up being chalk. We're the number 1 overall seed. Now, maybe Gonzaga was the number 1 overall seed because they were undefeated heading into the tournament, even though Baylor was clearly the better team based on some of the teams that they had played. And unfortunately, you saw that firsthand when they kicked your butts in the Elite Eight game, especially
HitThatLine.com, bracket challenge, do it now. So, should be fun.
Command. All right, Charlie and Camden, you're up next, man. What are your thoughts on the NCAA tournament setup that Arkansas has in front of them starting on Thursday?
Well, I'm excited for it. Obviously, just the whole tournament in general. I think Arkansas, as far as matchups go, I think they drew a tough one in the first one, and I'm going to say why, just because, they talked about this team being a 5-out team, and I know we like to use that drop coverage with Jalen Williams. Now, I don't know if all 5 guys can shoot the three, but usually if you're running that type of system, you're trying to get spacing and things of that nature. Now, Arkansas does run, some similar stuff. They have some 5-out stuff too, but I think from a defensive standpoint, we're really going to have to lock in. As far as the game, listen. I might be a little bit SEC biased here, but I thought Texas A&M got screwed. I thought they should have been in the tournament personally, and I'm not just basing it off the fact they beat us. I just thought the way they finished the season, the way they made that run in the tournament, and you watched them play, that's a tournament team. And then you watch Michigan play, and I don't understand how they get in. When you talk about the 2 best conferences, SEC and Big 12, that a lot of people say, I just feel like, I thought we should have had at least 7. Now, granted, past that, Florida, they kind of blew it in that first one. They would have probably had to make a run. I just don't understand, from a, net ranking or strength of schedule or whatever you want to call it, how some of those Big Ten teams that got in over some of the other teams that I thought should have been in, for one, Texas A&M. But anyways, guys, I don't know what you guys think about that, but I just think that, as far as matchups go for Arkansas, though, I like the turn the Gonzaga bracket, because I think they can give Gonzaga trouble if they do play them, if they do get to that point. Anyways, guys, I'll hang up and listen. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, if you look at Texas A&M, they won 7 of their last 8 on the road against Alabama, beating Auburn in the quarterfinals, and then in the semis against Arkansas were the 3 best wins. Their only loss in that stretch was to the SEC championship against Tennessee. I've heard arguments why Notre Dame shouldn't be in. I've heard arguments why Michigan shouldn't be in. You made the argument earlier. It's not just about the end of the season.
Right.
It's about, they had a 7 or 8.
That's really the argument here before we get to Tom Murphy is, if you don't like the fact that A&M got in, then what you should really be debating for is more weight put on the last 10 or 12 or 15 games or last 10 games of the regular season in your conference tournament play, because if the weight was put there in the criteria, A&M's probably in. But the committee's charge, their challenge is to figure out the best teams over the course for the non-automatic qualifiers over the course of the season, not over the course of what you did this week in Tampa or what you did in Indianapolis or wherever your conference tournament was held. So if you kind of bowed out early, would you downgrade Auburn from where they're at on the bracket to a 4 or 5 seed because they didn't play well in the conference tournament? It depends on where you want the priority put for the committee. I'm okay with waiting the end of the year a little heavier because I think you want the best teams as they're playing now, not, they were a really good team in November, December, and early January, and they've just kind of been average since then, but the first half of the season carried so much weight for them. I'm more in Charlie's camp. Let's put more weight on the last 10 games of the regular season and your conference tournament play.
What killed the Aggies was that 8-game losing streak during conference play. I don't know if Buzz Williams could have that back. Similar to Arkansas, when you lost to Hofstra, you lost to Vandy, you started out 0-3 in the SEC. You wonder what your seeding could have been if you had flipped that. But the other script is, well, maybe you don't play as well because you're not as motivated because you hadn't started out 0-3. It's just kind of a this and that. I don't know what's going to happen. It's just a projection at this point. We're going to talk to Tom Murphy now, again, about a variety of things as we welcome him into the program. Tom, it's good to be down with your colleague Bob Holt at the SEC tournament in Tampa. I know that he was asking, coaches and players were cracking up at all the questions he was asking. Even after losses, Wade cracked a smile with some of the things Bob was asking him about. But I wonder your thoughts initially on that loss to Texas A&M. You go back to last year, they lose to LSU, but it was a close game. A&M just smacked them, especially in the second half. What did you make of the game, especially how Arkansas kind of wilted down the stretch?
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Arkansas wasn't a good jump shooting team, and A&M just did a great job at keeping the penetration, the cuts to the basket down. They minimized that. Arkansas didn't get going from the three. Note got in foul trouble. It was a recipe for disaster. But I also think that now it can be a motivation. Like, look, you don't play well, you don't follow the game plan, anybody can just come up and whip you. So, I don't know. I think it's good motivation. I think it gave him an extra day of rest, which would be good for, Audis Tony and his ankle and all that. He's been playing well since he came back. I don't know. I think they have good elements for a tournament team, and I don't put a whole lot of stock into losing it. And I heard your conversation about A&M. I wish they had made the tournament, but I think the 8-game losing streak was just too much for them to overcome. Maybe if you win 2 during that and you go 2-6, maybe they make it in, but they don't. I guess they were probably one of the biggest snubs. It just hurt them that that Virginia Tech got hot, and I know they were a level team to begin with. They got hot, got in, and then Richmond won the A-10. And that was a couple of bids, and they just didn't make it.
Tom, I want to ask you about Audis Tony. He, as you just said, is playing a lot better, especially down there in Tampa, and you wondered if he was even going to play. Stanley Umude had a great game against the Aggies, 2 guys that have never played in the NCAA tournament before. They touched on that after the game. What do you think about their play heading into even or ratchet it up another level, which is the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, they're just going to be super motivated, and I hope that's an incentive for their teammates, guys who've been there before. They've got to get Devo Davis woken up. His last 2 games just hasn't provided the things you need, and just playing smart, man. Basketball IQ stuff, get to the rim. But if Umude can hit a few threes and just be a good jump shooter, and Tony can help on the rebound, to me, they've got to keep Vermont from lighting up from 3. The way Colgate opened the game, hitting threes and just being a confident shooting team. And I've heard that Vermont has a similar style of play to Colgate. So keep the 3-point guys from blowing you up, and just be so aggressive. They need to be aggressive on the boards, the way they were in that LSU game. And if they can do that, I think they'll be okay there. But obviously, with the draw, you could wind up playing a hot UConn team in round 2. You could wind up playing a Gonzaga team that's highly motivated to get back and try to win the championship in round 3. So just a fun draw. I mean, unfortunately, Bob's going to go from Tampa to Buffalo, which is a weird deal.
Yeah. So,
I hope he packed the right clothes.
Pack a whole different wardrobe for that trip. Arkansas's won one of their last 3. Where do you think this team's confidence is at heading into the NCAA tournament? And does this last 3-game stretch change your perception at all about where this team is headed into the NCAA tournament?
No, I don't think they lack for confidence. I really don't. And I think the Tennessee game, I mean, that was a road game in which they trailed by 24 points and came back and had a chance to take the lead. I mean, what a remarkable comeback. It's the kind of stuff they did in the tournament last year. You don't want to see them have to do that, but I don't think they lack for confidence at all. I think there's going to be a good game plan in place. It's a tournament kind of tested team now, and I think the addition of those veteran guys who are going to want it so badly in Tony and Amude is going to help them. I just think they've got to play smarter and keep the turnovers down, and that's from Devo and Likes and Note. And I think they'll be in good shape in the early stage of the tournament.
What's more important, turnovers, keeping them to a limit, or keeping J.D. Note out of early foul trouble?
Oh, man, both of those are super important. And I don't know if Note, when he went back in the game with 2, and then he tried to stop a drive out on the perimeter and got his knee up into the guy, you're asking for a foul there. Yeah. So he's just got to play that smarter, and he's got to shoot the ball with more confidence. I mean, he's always been the kind of like unconscious shooter. It doesn't matter if he's missed 5 in a row; he'll take a 23-footer.
Yeah. And here's the thing with that third foul he picked up. I mean, knowing you've got the rim protection and the inside, the way Jalen Williams can protect the rim, and I can't remember if he was on the floor in that moment, but you've got some backside help. You can't afford to make that play knowing you've already got 2 fouls.
No, you can't. And what is that guy going to do with the ball? I mean, yeah, I agree with you, Tommy. There's guys behind him, and he clearly, stuck out his hip and brought his knee up, and that's a foul.
It's a foul.
So don't do it.
Tom Murphy with us here on the Morning Rush. Tom, you were just talking about Tampa. I was surprised that there was many Arkansas fans that made the trip. I didn't think that we'd see many at all. There wasn't just a Kentucky contingency or a Tennessee contingency or an Auburn, but there were more fans than I thought. How many fans? I've got, I know 6 buddies. Drew's going with us and here at ESPN Arkansas. How many Arkansas fans do you think are going to be making their way up to Buffalo, New York for this first-round game?
Well, I'd like to think that the people who really love the sport anticipated, after they got hot again and, hey, we're going to make the tournament, let's make the plan. Let's do this. No matter where they go play, we'll make the plan. So I don't know if there'll be as many as there were for the SEC tournament. Buffalo's a little tougher to get to. I have no idea what the weather conditions are going to be. Haven't looked at it yet. But there will be a healthy contingent. And, Vermont's a whole lot closer. But there's a chance they'll outnumber the Vermont folks, I'm sure.
Big SEC news. Tennessee wins the SEC championship, defeating A&M. We just talked about the Aggies not getting in. What are your thoughts on the coaching changes that have taken place? What's going down in Baton Rouge? Scott Woodward removing Will Wade of his duties. And then also Mike White goes from Florida to Georgia. Your thoughts on those 2 moves, Tom?
Well, I guess no big shocker on Will Wade. It was just a matter of time because, they redid his contract to, if you are, I think even accused of NCAA violations, we can fire you with cause, and that's happened. No shocker there. And then the Mike White thing, we were on the sideline yesterday at football practice when somebody saw it on their phone and was like, whoa. And he beat the posse out of town, out of Florida. And Mike White is a solid basketball coach, and I know Tom Crean was, and Tom Crean recruited well. So I don't know what it's maybe about changing the culture of Georgia basketball. It's hard sometimes to have your football program and your basketball program super high, but Alabama won both championships last year, I think. So it can be done, and I just don't know. I heard one guy say it was a horrible hire, and my thought was I think Mike White's a quality coach. Can he recruit to Georgia? So that time will tell on the Georgia one.
Hey, real quick before you go, the Hogs sweep a disjointed 4-game series that began Thursday and ended yesterday with some grand slams. Just some quick thoughts as Arkansas is now in their first week of SEC play coming up on Friday.
Well, they're hitting better, so, that was against a pitching staff that didn't have a great depth of arms. They got behind by 3 runs in one game, came back and won. They got behind by 4 runs yesterday, a very sloppy inning. Still a lot of questions, and, SEC play starts next weekend. So, clearly, this Arkansas team, not as dominant as last year, so, don't be expecting winning all 10 series of, in the SEC play. But I do like Lanzilli in the middle of the order. Turner and Lanzilli were huge additions. They need to get hotter. They need to get Borfin back from his shoulder injury, and I think the hitting will come around. And I don't know. I think they're going to be a good quality SEC team, firmly in the NCAA tournament. But it's going to be fun because it's just like a Musselman coach team. You feel like they're going to push the right buttons and put it together and make themselves a tough out in the NCAA.
All right, any guess on how many miles it is from here to Buffalo, New York?
2,300. No, what is it?
1,164 from the River Valley to 16 hours, 38 minutes. About 1,100 from Fayetteville. So if you're going to drive, you better start early.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you better start
man.
early.
Oh, that's a long way.
That
Bye.
is. All right. So, Tom, enjoy it. We'll talk to you later this week and talk about some tournament action.
Sounds great. Talk to y'all then. Bye.
All right, Tom Murphy, Arkansas Democrat, Gazette Whole Hog Sports with us here on the Morning Rush. It's a Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale, home of the lifetime warranty. Lee J and Chris do a great job making sure you get wonderful service. Also, service after the sale, even on-site storage is available at Wheels RV. Ask about their factory-trained and certified technicians, the Paint and Body Collision Center that can take care of all your RV repair needs as well. It's all at Wheels RV, again, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
You pose a good question. How many fans do you think will be driving? I know gas is outrageously priced right now.
Get 4 guys in a car, though. It makes it a little less affordable.
Split it up a little bit.
I was looking. You go the same route you went to Indiana. You go up to Springfield. You go over to St. Louis. You cut over. You get to Indianapolis, Cincinnati. You just keep going that way, and you work your way up Lake Erie to Buffalo, New York. So I mean that's
want to drive, Drew, instead of fly? No. That would be, I enjoyed
16 and a half hours.
Yeah, that is a haul. When we drove, I think it was 16 or 17 to Jacksonville my sophomore year of college. That was a haul we stayed in.
You get to see Columbus. You get to see Akron along the way. I mean,
Columbus
would be
cool.
Pittsburgh,
I'd like to see Indianapolis was a great time. I'd like to see Columbus and pass by Dayton. You don't go through Dayton. You pass by it. That's a cool trek. That'd be a fun road trip if you have a week off or something. But it is, yeah.
You know what? The drive out wouldn't be bad. The drive home would stink.
Be awful. Yeah, be horrendous to do that back. But that would be I wonder how many Arkansas fans, because we kind of looked at the prices yesterday. What'd you get, about a $500 something flight?
I've got a whole story I don't even have time to get into. I was on the phone with Drew. He sent me a link. I'm trying to book a flight for him, and before I could even, it just kept popping up on the screen. Price increase. But as I'm typing in the credit card information.
That's a good sign, right? That means Arkansas fans are going in droves
Guess
to
who
Buffalo.
didn't get my business? That website did not get my business.
Because they have isn't the algorithm, if you keep coming back to it, they just slowly, I feel like someone's told me that before.
I'd already said, hey, I'm buying the flight. I'm putting in my credit card stuff.
And it just keeps
But I'm having
going
to
up.
check with Drew. Hey, need date of birth, need your actual driver's license name on there. Just kept the price went up $300 in 4 minutes.
So it went from $500 to $800?
No, it's over $900 by the time we got to the end.
Good, man.
So,
good grief. That was
we ended up with around $600. Those on the same airline that Expedia was trying to shaft us over.
That's insane.
Expedia, I'll never be back.
It's a lot. I guess it's a lot different from the $248 we paid from X&A to.
I'm not even sure it's that much for your flight to Tampa.
It was $248,
and we waited.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could have gotten that cheaper if I'd have.
It was direct, man.
Yeah.
It was nice. So I would. I did not know that story until you just told it.
There was a little frustration on the phone yesterday. So, hey, one place you can relax and not have frustration is at Gaston's White River Resort. I was talking with Jacob last week. Hey, May is already starting to fill up. So, April is filling up. So, if you're thinking about, hey, my anniversary's coming up this week. If you're, thinking about that birthday or anniversary trip or something later on in the year, go ahead and book that cabin or that lodge or that special getaway at Gaston's. Even if you don't want to fish, Ty's dad went to Gaston's just to spend the weekend recently because it's a cool and awesome place right here in Arkansas, right on the banks of the White River. But fishing, hey, it's the star of the show. They got experienced guys with decades-long experience on the White River that can show you what it's all about. It's all at Gaston's White River Resort, 870-431-5202. Gaston's, a first-class time every time.
On the road to the Final Four with the Hogs is brought to you by Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort Sportsbook, Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, and Big Red Stores of Arkansas.
March Madness is here, and Burton Pools and Spas has all the savings you need to make your summer a success. Doughboy Above Ground Pools in-stock select packages up to $900 off. Cash and carry savings start at $19.95. Ask Burton staff about low-interest financing and payments as low as $87 a month on Doughboy Above Ground Pools. Burton Pools and Spas, making your backyard dreams come true in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Hardworking simplicity and serious durability. That's the winning combination you get when you pair a rugged Workmaster utility tractor with a Dura-Disc heavy-duty disc mower, both from New Holland and Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat of Northwest Arkansas. You'll maximize the tonnage of your hayfields by slicing a clean, close swath up to 10 foot 4 inches wide, all while operating in confidence and comfort with a Workmaster tractor with high visibility all-weather cab. Stop by Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat of Northwest Arkansas today to learn about this unstoppable New Holland team.
Welcome to Allstate, where we bring it all together. And bundling your home and auto is good, right? And it saves you up to 25%. It all comes together. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Bundled savings discounts will vary by state. Saving up to 25% is a countrywide average of savings off the home policy. Combining the multiple policy discount for having auto insurance with Allstate and the welcome discount savings at enrollment.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience, specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer opens like every other seltzer, pours like every other seltzer, but it's not like every other seltzer. USDA certified organic, no added sugar, and low cal, so you've never seen another seltzer quite like it. And with new refreshing flavors like black cherry and watermelon strawberry, you've never tasted one like it either. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Have you been looking for your next place to call home and just haven't found the right one? Then it's time to check out the properties at Trinity Multifamily. With a variety of apartments, duplexes, townhomes, and houses, there is surely one to fit your needs. Whether it's in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas, or Central Arkansas that you are looking at, they have you covered. Give them a call today. Trinity Multifamily, 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Don't you just hate that? Sitting in a tire store waiting room while your car's being serviced? That's the last place you need to be with work and kids and the 10 million things you need to be doing. Well, don't. Free shuttle service. Pickup and delivery free when you spend $75 and only $10 if less. Jody'sAuto.com will make your life easier. Hi, Kim Bircher. 3 locations, 1 in Van Buren and 2 in Fort Smith. One stop. We do everything. So you don't have to go from place to place for tires or service or repairs or maintenance. We are local. 37 years and voted best of the best time and time again. We will pick up and deliver or shuttle you so you don't have to waste your time. Honesty and customer service is always our #1 goal. We will make your life much easier at Jody'sAuto.com, JODYS Auto.com.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey. Oh,
yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Arkansas wins the national championship! The Arkansas Razorbacks have completed the dream season!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Got a late one on Thursday night. Announced earlier, Arkansas and the Vermont Catamounts will play at 8:20 Central Time, give or take a few minutes on TNT. Brad Nessler's going to be on the call. I know some of you will be excited to hear his voice. I think the last time you heard him on an Arkansas call was when the Razorbacks beat the Kentucky Wildcats at home in Bud Walton Arena this year. Arkansas, Tommy, opened up as an 8-point favorite in this one. We'll talk about some other SEC lines coming up. They haven't played, Arkansas and Vermont have not played under Musselman, but Musselman did play them when he was at Nevada, and I think the CBI is what he said.
All right, so a little familiarity, but I'm not sure how much weight that has moving into this game. A lot of people are concerned about this matchup. I'm of the belief if you think you're an Elite Eight team again, or perhaps a Final Four team, or can make a bid, like a lot of people said, to make a run to New Orleans, shouldn't be wringing your hands over Vermont. Go play your brand of ball, and if Arkansas plays what they're capable of, they ought to win the basketball game.
Maybe some of you were at the selection show announcement that Arkansas had at Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. If you want to watch the video, you can do it on our Hit That Line Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram account. But maybe you're just watching on television, and this is what you heard when Greg Gumbel announced it.
The number 4 seed, the Razorbacks of Arkansas, out of the SEC. The Razorbacks enter the NCAA tournament winning 14 of their last 17 games. And they will meet veterans of this time of year, the Catamounts of Vermont.
Is that going to be a trendy upset pick? We saw Seth Davis take Colgate over Arkansas, and he looked like he was right in the first half, and then Arkansas kind of cut the lead in the second half. Really took over that ball game. Devontae Davis was a catalyst in that comeback. Hopefully he has another March type of game. Is, from an analyst perspective and just from a average Joe perspective, do you anticipate a lot of people taking Vermont in this game being so close to home?
No, I mean, there will be some, but I don't think the proximity's as big a deal. I mean, Vermont still, was it 6 hours? They're still going to get on an airplane. They're still going to have to travel. I mean, Arkansas is going to get maybe their flight's an hour longer, an hour and a half longer. Is it really that big an edge? I don't think the crowd, I mean, do you think the Vermont faithful are going to come there by the tens of thousands to Buffalo? I don't think so. So I just think some of this is overblown. Yeah, Arkansas's flight may be an hour more. But at the end of the day, you just got to go play ball. I just don't think there's that big a home court edge or big an advantage based on travel either way.
Well, Arkansas dug himself in a hole because you could be playing in Fort Worth if you were played better and maybe been a 2 seed, but losing in some of those games. The only reason I'm saying it, Tommy, is because Muss mentioned it not once but twice yesterday.
I mean, everyone that picks brackets and does this for a living is looking for that 4 seed or the 5 seed. They're going to have to pick at least 1, if not 2, to make their bracket entertaining and try to get some notoriety for picking that upset. So the 4 and the 5 seeds are always the place you're looking for a 5-12 or a 4-13 upset. So, I mean, Yeah, there's going to be some on that just by the nature of where you fell in the bracket.
Hog baseball got a sweep over UIC over the weekend. Also, I saw Michael Turner has been named to the watch list for the 2022 Buster Posey National Collegiate Player of the Year. Caden Wallace had a good series, hit a grand slam. He has been just pelted. What was it, 13 RBIs? Is that what Tom said earlier?
Number, yeah.
In this weekend, that guy can just get after it, and it's cool that he's a homegrown kid from Greenbrier, Arkansas, getting it done at the next level. Now, you're going to have to help me out on this. I know because I follow more Arkansas kids at the high school level. Nick Smith Jr., and I know Khalil's not going to Arkansas, but Khalil Ware going out to Oregon. They win the championship on Thursday against Bentonville. And Darian Ford, he and Magnolia beat Blytheville, I think 59-56.
That's a good, tight ball game in a sold-out Summit Bank Arena.
The Golden Arrows of Lavaca win the 2A state championship. That's the first time they've ever won it, I think, if I remember that right. Who are some?
Berkman girls won.
Okay.
Norfolk girls won the 1A.
Okay.
And I'm missing one other from North Central. Think of it here in just a second. I've got it here somewhere. There was 3 teams in North Arkansas, that North Central Arkansas in our 104.3 listening area that won as well. So Norfolk, Bergman, and one other one.
Darian had, you said it was his 3rd consecutive state championship game MVP. He had 20-something points in this one. He has been fun to watch, and it's cool. What I think, and I have no problem with a kid going out of state to play at a better high school.
Melbourne was the other one.
Okay.
So
I have no.
I didn't think of them.
I have no issue because they're the one that's have what 66 straight. Is that that team, or is that Bregman or Bergman?
Bergman won. Was it 43 or 45-0 this year? They were undefeated. I mean, either way, it's phenomenal. So, and Melbourne's won 3 straight state championships. So they've been very dominant as well.
Again, I have no issue with a kid going from an Arkansas high school to an IMG academy. We saw Moses Moody go to Montfort. We saw KK go to Oak Hill. But I think a lot of you appreciate seeing Nick staying home in North Little Rock, win a state championship in Central Arkansas, seeing Darian stay home in Magnolia, because those guys are getting offered probably all over the country to go play high school ball somewhere else. And I remember asking Darian if that was something he would explore. I think Nick has been asked that before, and yet they stay home and won state championship. And again, don't mishear me, I'm not being the boomer being like, oh, they should stay in state, because we saw Moses clearly benefit from going to Montfort and playing alongside Cade Cunningham, Scotty Barnes, and seeing what he's doing at the National Basketball Association. I just think it's cool that both Nick and Darian stayed, and they won state championships to close out their high school career.
Hey, and sometimes the best players don't always end up with state titles. I still think about Corliss Williamson's career never ended with a state championship in high school basketball. So, I mean, it doesn't always work out, and the move from Jacksonville to North Little Rock was, I think you heard if you were watching the broadcast, you heard what he said following that game on Thursday night, and I think winning the state title was huge for him personally, and one of the motivations to make that move. So, sometimes the best players, Malik Monk, same thing, don't always come away with state championships. It's not as easy or a shoe-in deal as you might think it is.
Last Hog update news for you this morning. Utah and Arkansas women's basketball will face off this Friday in Austin, Texas. The Razorbacks are a 10 seed. Utah is a 7. So Mike Neighbors has his team once again in the NCAA tournament. So Phil will be heading down there for that. I'm assuming he'll be able to find something to do down there in Austin, Texas. That'll be fun. That's going to do it for your Hog update. It is brought to you by Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
I'm going to get into this more in the best of the worst, but I'm going to have to pull the trigger on a new phone. What are these running? iPhones running about $800-900 nowadays, or is it north of that?
Depends on which one you get. I don't think you probably want to go plus. I'm trying to remember, I just got the 12. I went with the 12. I think 13 is the latest. I've got the 12.
I never buy the latest edition.
Go get the 12, and I think you're right, $700 or $800 right now.
Okay, that's not too bad.
It's got everything. It's got more than I can do with it.
Just to be on there or whatever. But yeah, I'll get into that more. The best, the worst. But really, again, the big deal: NCAA tournament starts this week. March Madness starts this week. Arkansas, Kentucky this week. SEC baseball opens up. This is a great weekend for sports, and it's going to be a great weekend overall.
So get your bracket filled out. Go to hitthatline.com. Click on Bracket Challenge. It's brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, Crabtree RV, and the Stadium Shop in Fayetteville. Awesome prizes there for you. We got a prize for every round. A 65-inch smart TV in the first round. $150 gift card to Swift's Jewelry this weekend. somebody's going to win in round 2 as well. There's prizes. There's 9 different prize packages, including a grand prize package for the best overall bracket, probably valued somewhere around $1,500. So you don't want to miss out on this. Go to hitthatline.com and click on Bracket Challenge. Get signed up. It's also brought to you by Four Corks Wine and Spirits in Fort Smith, Broadway Motors in Van Buren, and by our friends at Sassy's Red House and Sassy's Barbecue in Fayetteville.
The temperatures may be cooling down, but at Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas, the deals are still red hot. Whether you are enjoying one of over 50 state parks or tailgating with your favorite team, Wheels has the right RV to help you enjoy fall in the natural state. And at Wheels RV, every new unit comes with a lifetime warranty. So get out to Wheels and see why they were voted best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan. How can I help?
Hey, Jan. Say, is now a good time for a new Toyota?
You bet it is. Now through April 4th is the perfect time to shop for a RAV4, Tundra, Tacoma, Corolla, and more.
Amazing. I was just thinking of a RAV4.
Well, imagine yourself in a RAV4. Where would you go first?
Okay, I've just got my RAV4. I am picking up my friends and going out to lunch to celebrate.
Perfect. A bistro? A deli?
Skinny Al's Barbecue.
Whoa, okay. I love barbecue.
Huh. Well, then you should imagine yourself digging into the best ribs you've ever tasted.
I'm imagining you inviting me.
My imaginary self thought you'd never ask.
Let your imagination run wild at your participating Toyota dealer. Whether you're imagining yourself in a sporty Camry, versatile Highlander, or the spacious Venza, now's the time to ready, set, go get your Toyota today. Toyota, let's go places. Dealer inventory may vary.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
Winter is actually a good time to paint. The paint store over here in Van Buren has the most popular colors on large sample boards so you can see the color in your home. Rather do some outside painting? Our low temperature application product allows you to paint down to 35 degrees. It's okay. Experience hometown customer service you won't get at a national brand and get free professional advice from our 34 years of experience. Come see Sue and her team at the paint store in Van Buren. Find us on the internet.
New for 2022 and in stock now at the Golf Nut, tailor-made stealth carbon face driver, Cobra LTD X Woods, hybrids and irons, and Callaway Rogue ST driver. The Golf Nut has a great selection of golf bags, balls, shoes, and apparel. And in stock now, the new Puka headwear, pigs, pokes, and boomer hats. As always, check Facebook for daily specials. All this and more at the Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith, your #1 golf shop since 1994.
It is here, fast, reliable internet from Wave Rural Connect. Cedarville, Uniontown, Natural Dam, and surrounding areas get fast fiber internet, TV, and phone service from a local provider you can trust based in Ozark, Arkansas. Internet starts at $49.95 a month, TV at $43.99, and phone at $29.95. Order now at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Do it now. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names. And tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
It's time to get in the game, Fort Smith. Hi, Coach Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I'm a maniac for March basketball, but if I'm going to catch all the games, I need your help. So I've cooked up a 3-point plan to help you rebound from your old ride. 1, pick the perfect car for you from our huge inventory of Rath Road-ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. 2, pass me your old ride. 3, I'll come in with the assist and give you up to $3,300 more than appraised value. So if your old ride makes you feel second string, slam dunk your junk and start driving better today in a nicer, newer car from Rath Auto Resources. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for spring in our Meineke Car Care Center with a free AC check, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. But hurry, this deal's done at the buzzer. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Credit requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price determines actual trade allowance. Negative equity may be refinanced. Offer absolutely ends March 31st, 2022.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, an increase in the cloud cover could see a few showers across the south. High temperatures today in the upper 50s. Showers with a few isolated thunderstorms tonight. And overnight low will drop down in the mid to upper 40s. Tuesday, a chance of showers, a few thunderstorms, or high temperatures on Tuesday into the lower 60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Put down the bug spray and pick up the phone before you head outside this summer. Call Mosquito Joe to keep your yard mosquito-free. Call 479-202-9960 or visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by The Fenceman. For custom-built fences, gates, and controlled access systems, call The Fenceman at 479-782-3936. The Fenceman, he ain't afraid of no work.
Because we got to get better. I mean, that's not how we want to play. So I'm not brushing this under and crumpling up the stat sheet and saying, well, tomorrow we get to see who we're playing against, and we'll get ready for the NCAA tournament tonight. We got to dissect this game. And then, like I said, when we know who our opponent is, we'll get ready to play them.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
People who really want to have a good time won't come to a slaughterhouse. And we've got entirely too many troublemakers here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
I don't like you because you're dangerous. That's right. I am dangerous.
Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
I hit the 7-iron like John Daly hits the 3.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
You just got to keep living, man.
And Tommy Kraft.
We follow orders or people die. Are we clear?
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes, sir.
It's hour number 3 of the Morning Rush on a Hot Take Monday. There's the combination of both positivity and negativity. In your last 18 or so games, you just played your worst one against Texas A&M and got knocked out of the SEC tournament. The positivity is, though, you know where you're going for the NCAA tournament. You got a high seed. You're excited. You're fun. I heard Eric Musselman, it's funny to kind of look at him balance the still him being ticked off from the game they played on Saturday, but the excitement addition from where they're now going to be playing this Thursday. So we're going to talk about that a little bit, get into some big national news of Tom Brady later on in the program, and also get to your SEC update and your best and worst of the weekend this hour as well, Tommy.
And it's a Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Deals are red hot right now on all the top brands, and you get a lifetime warranty. We're talking about the best brands like Forest River, Grand Design, Vibe, KZ, Sportsman, and more, all right there. Plus, they've got Paradigm Fifth Wheels and a lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell. It's all at Wheels RV, again, 5 miles west of exit 72, off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV. The madness is underway this week. Drew's headed to Buffalo. We finally wised up. We're going to get some real coverage on the road of the Razorbacks as Drew Barrett's going to be there in Buffalo this week. It's brought to you by Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort Sportsbook. Big Red Stores. Never pay full price again. We're at your neighborhood Big Red store with Big Red Rewards and by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. So we'll have all the coverage on air and online right here on ESPN Arkansas.
You had a similar circumstance dropping out of the SEC tournament in the semis last year. The difference, though, is you barely lost last year. J.D. Note late turnover, a play that he still's remembered and talks about. And then this year, they just fell apart. And that was in this streak I hesitate. It's not a streak because you hadn't won all these games consecutively, but the 14 of the 17 games that you've played, you won those, and then the only of the one of the 3 losses, that was the only one where you just kind of, I hesitate to say gave up, but you fell apart. And there were several dunks in that game where I'm just kind of looking at certain Arkansas media members with just a puzzling look on my face. It's like, what's going on? I see Musselman on the sideline. He's ticked. Hunter Yurchek's ejected a couple seats behind him because the game is essentially over. I was just very surprised how that game concluded in the manner it did.
You know, we were talking earlier about J.D. Notae's third foul in the first half, when how uncommon it is even for Eric Musselman to play a player with 2 fouls before halftime. Once they pick that up, they normally sit down. He brought J.D. off the bench feeling like the game was going to get away. And a good friend of mine, a coach, someone who coaches right now, said, hey, Muss had been on their hind end so much, and you were there. You saw it, you know, even when the camera wasn't on.
Mm-hmm.
He was after the team about what? Middle penetration and not giving up the rim. And a foul, and I hadn't thought about it this way, the foul by J.D. was probably one where, hey, I can't win for losing here, because if I don't protect the rim and I don't guard this against middle penetration, Muss is after me, and if I do, I run the risk of a third foul, which he picked up. So, you know, it was a roll of the dice to put him back in there, but Muss had demanded and insisted on that rim protection defense that they were giving up so much, because it was so embarrassing about how many dunks they were getting. That's how you get a foul 18 feet from the basket and be your third in the first half. I thought about it that way.
He was critical of not only J.D. offensively, but he talked about that's one of the poor performance he had seen defensively from his star player in a while as well, which is you're kind of unaccustomed to seeing when J.D. sometimes you see him struggle on offense, but usually he still brings it on defense. He was getting beat by several different people, and I know it was irritating for Arkansas fans to watch Texas A&M, who is the inferior team to you, beat you so handily, so easily. And I know they were playing for more, which it ended up not being what they thought they were going to be. I'm telling you, man, Buzz Williams.
Desperation's a big thing, isn't it?
Yeah, Buzz is sitting there, and I said it was kind of cool. You can't self-scout during the regular season. You're not allowed to. NCAA prohibits it. But during the tournaments, you can. You can be in attendance, not just watch film, but be in attendance for that. So he's 3 seats in front of me, and I'm watching him scribble notes and watching this Arkansas and LSU game, and I asked him about that. But one of his players, and I don't remember if it was Hefner or not Quincy, I can't think of the guy's name, but which one, Quentin Jackson, who got asked about their chances. I think it was Jackson to get asked about their tournament chances, and Buzz just kind of shook his head like that, because I think they beat Arkansas. He clearly thought they were in. He thought, we're going to the championship, we're in, and then sure enough, they're not in. And I'm in a weird situation, because you know that I despise Texas A&M more than any college in the country.
Mm-hmm.
But I was kind of irritated that they didn't make the tournament, because I thought that.
And they weren't really as close as you might think, because when you look at the committee's listing of the next 4 teams, they weren't like the next team. And the Atlantic.
Who was the next team?
Was it Dayton? Or I saw the list, but and then they got the alternates that came in. They were on that list, but they weren't first on that list. So the thing you've got to ask yourself, what's the committee supposed to weight more? The end of the year, we've talked about this, or is it balancing the whole season out? And the fact is, you can't ignore the first half of the season, or that 7-game losing streak they went on, 8-game losing.
Mm-hmm.
You can't ignore those things. Yes, they're playing well at the end. Now, I'm fine, particularly when it's the team we cover and the team that's in state from where we live. If you want to weight the back half of the year, the last 10 games plus your tournament with a little heavier weight in your evaluation, go for it, because you should get the hottest teams and the best teams and the healthiest teams and use that as part of your criteria. That's not what the committee is doing, though. That's not what their charge is. That's not what they've been instructed to do. So until you get to a situation where they used to weight the last 10 games heavier, and that was a consideration, but they've taken that out, and that rankings has come in, which nobody can explain. And unfortunately for a team like A&M, who did get hot in their conference tournament but did everything but win their conference tournament, they don't have a seat at the table based on what they'd done earlier. there's got to be some kind of balance to this, and maybe that's something that gets reviewed, but not just for A&M. I just think it's good for the event. It's good for the tournament. It's healthy for the game.
I think Danny in Russellville suggested this earlier. I said it last week, and I know that ESPN has a lot to do with this. If you're Greg Sankey, are you picketing the fence to try and move the game back a day? I know you'd get the Sunday championships, the Big 12's on Saturday. Is it just the Big 10 and the SEC that are on Sunday?
Well, you had the American yesterday as well.
Okay, the American.
I mean, this is done by TV because, I mean, here's the trade-off. Where do you want your the SEC has the benefit of having a big majority of their tournament on ESPN, some on the SEC network, depending on if you're fall in day or night, and then there's got to be slots on Sunday because like I said, the Big Ten has forever been in that last slot on CBS. Where do you want your tournament final to be on TV? I don't think it's that big a deal that you play on Sunday versus Saturday. The reason some teams or some conferences like the Big 12 play there is to get a better TV spot. Because where would the Big 12 championship game go if it wasn't, or what time would you have to play it if you didn't move it to Saturday in prime time? I mean, what would be the benefit of moving it there? Would A&M have gotten in because the game was played on Saturday and not on Sunday?
You bring it up, though, that it doesn't even seem like the Sunday games matter unless you're an automatic qualifier.
Oh, I think, and you heard the committee chair talk about there were a few adjustments. Now, you saw, was it the Ivy? There was two upsets yesterday when Davidson and Richmond and the Spiders getting in. That knocked somebody off the line. So, I mean, there was a few things that do happen that the committee has to adjust to, but I don't know that A&M gets in had you shifted everything up 24 hours.
Mm-hmm. I just know that was something that people have speculated on making a move, an idea, but like you said, the television is going to dictate what they end up doing with the Southeastern
Because you don't want your conference tournament finale buried somewhere, ESPN2 or on your own conference network. You want that, either be on ESPN, be on CBS, be somewhere where it's going to be seen by more people. So, that's the trade-off that you've got to consider in all of this equation. Brought to you by Motor Car Connections this morning. They specialize in affordable trucks and financing of all kinds. They're on Highway 59 north of the Walmart in Van Buren. Over 20 years of combined experience getting you in the car or truck of your dreams at Motor Car Connections. They're connecting you to your next ride. See Mart Hurst and his crew because they've got a great selection right now. Their address is at 2811 Fayetteville Road. Again, just north of the Walmart. You'll find them on the left as you head up the hill in Van Buren. Give them a call at 479-992-8197. That's 992-8197 or online at motorcarconnections.com.
We're going to do our best and the worst coming up. I do want to get into this one clip from Muss on Saturday after the A&M loss. Here is what he had to say on how difficult it is to stay focused in these tournaments.
Got a lot of things we got to work on and get better. When you come to a tournament, I've tried to talk to the players about, number one, understanding and respecting how hard it is to get to a championship in any of these conference tournaments. There can be no distractions whatsoever. So getting ready for this next tournament, your mind's got to be right. And if it's not, you're going to play one game and come home. Any team.
You have some key guys, Jalen Williams, J.D. Note, and Devontae Davis that were key parts to the Elite Eight run last year that are back. You also have additions like Staley Amude, never been to a tournament, like Adis Toney, never been to a tournament. I think Trey's been with Wichita State, but just the cohesion of that group is going to be important because, Tommy, it's one thing to go regular season non-con. Then you get up to SEC. Then you get up to the SEC tournament. And now the difficulty and the intensity of the NCAA tournament is going to be like nothing Stanley and Adis have ever seen.
No, and I would expect this could be a ugly first 4 minutes till you get to that first media timeout where both teams play with nerves. You'll see the elite teams be off a little bit early on just because simply there's a level of adrenaline and nerves and all of that goes into this event. You're playing in the NCAA tournament. I think when that stage gets put in front of you and you see that logo out there and what you've always dreamed of for these guys playing in their first one, there's some tentativeness, there's some tightness. And so I don't expect very good play in the first few minutes, and then which team can take over from there? Who can be the player to make that first big play, make the first big three, get the first big dribble, drive, dunk, something to kind of get things sparked and going. you need Jalen Williams to kind of reignite offensively. He's had 10 points in 2 games, and you need him to be a bigger part of what you're doing in this NCAA tournament offensively.
You look bad in the opening stretch against Colgate. You kind of took over against Texas Tech and held on for dear life at the end, and then you're going to have to remind me, what happened in the Oral Roberts game? Were you up or down? You were down.
Well, that was the one where the shot didn't go at the end, right?
Yeah, you were down.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember early, but the note of that game was the shot that was on the way that could have beat you that didn't, from the right corner or the right elbow rather, that fell off.
You got a great vantage point, I thought, looking at Max Adams take that shot over Devontae, and I think it was Jalen Tate defending him. I thought the shot was in. Luckily, it fell awry. All right, let's get into our best, the worst of the weekend. You are more than welcome to jump in here at 877-377-6963.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
We the best. This is the worst.
It's time for the best and worst of the weekend.
All right, best and worst of the weekend brought to you by Sassy's Red House and Sassy's Barbecue and Grill, the place for hungry tournament fans. Try Sassy's award-winning smoked wings, the tender brisket, and the pulled pork. It's all at Sassy's Original Red House on North College and Sassy's Barbecue and Grill on Steamboat Drive, just off the Weddington exit in Fayetteville. Eat, drink, and be sassy.
I've been saying it all morning. The best of the weekend to me is the week ahead. This is the best week of the year for me. You've got St. Patrick's Day alongside the first day of the NCAA tournament. I kind of agree with you. I know we have games, 2 games tomorrow, 2 games on Wednesday. It's not truly kicked off until Thursday when you have the full slate. Arkansas will play at 8:20 that night on TNT. Brad Nessler is going to be on the call. I live and breathe this week, and again, I haven't watched outside the SEC. We were talking about this last week. I've really honed in on the SEC, a little Big 12, a little Big 10, but I haven't watched a lot of college basketball outside of that kind of area this year. So my bracket could be X'd out. Again, I went with a lot of upsets last year because I thought it would be weird being in Indianapolis. I haven't decided what kind of philosophy I'm going to go with this year. I just know that I cannot wait to fill out my bracket in the next day or so.
Without question, it was a few days ago on the weekend, but it qualifies for the weekend on a Friday. Watching Auburn get beat in the SEC tournament. Their concern with Zeb Jasper about paying back the Razorbacks and the lack of respect and all of these things. Yeah, how'd that work out for you guys? I don't know about you guys, but I don't think I'm carrying Auburn very far in my bracket. I am not impressed with how they're limping kind of into the end of the season here. I don't even know if I got them in the Sweet 16, so we'll see what happens with Auburn. But that was the best of the weekend after all their chatter, all their mouthing. Got sent home early from the SEC tournament.
Yeah, I think it was said best by a prominent media member down there that was kind of sitting next to me. Their guard play's trash. I know Wendell Green had a good game against Texas A&M and hit some big threes down the stretch, but their 2 best players are their big men, Jabari Smith, who's going to be a top 3 pick, and Walker Kessler, who is not fully healthy. His shoulder is bothering him. It's clear as day, and he gets, I think Curtis Wilkerson, Hog Sports, told me that 90-something% of his blocks come from his left hand and left shoulder. Well, it's his left shoulder that has that brace or sleeve on it. This is not the same team. Those 2 guys, Zeb Jasper and Wendell Green Jr., when you don't have dynamic guard play and those guys are not great, then your team typically goes as far as your guard play. Arkansas does. J.D. Note is an All-American. He's great. The other guys surrounding him, we'll see if Devo can get back to March form that he was last year, but you have a dynamic playmaker in J.D. Note. They have a dynamic playmaker in Jabari Smith. The thing about Jabari is the reason he doesn't put up the ball on the floor that much, he's 6'10". He gets the ball stolen a lot when he takes it to the rim. That's why he does his pull-up jumpers, one dribble shot. So just keep an eye on Auburn. I'm kind of with you, Tommy. Even as a 2 seed, I can't see them going that far. I don't know if I'm going to be able to put them in the Final Four. Now, cell phone issues is my worst. Not only am I at the front row or the media row or whatever, and I look and I pull my phone out and it's just doing, I don't know if you can see it, well, it looks fine now. It's just going, all these different pictures and stuff are pixelating on my phone, and it's just going at whatever. And I've had this phone for, I think, 4 years now, so it's about time, or 3 years now, so it's about time I got another one, but that was frustrating. In addition to that, the guy I stayed with this weekend, a homeless man asked if he could call someone off his phone, gives it to him, guy runs off. And so he got his phone stolen this weekend, so he had to sink probably the same price I am, about $800-900, into a phone. So multiple cell phone issues this weekend. So we're going to have to communicate on his computer and various other things. You don't realize until you don't have a phone how useful it is and how much you actually use it until it's taken away from you from that guy.
It's just, I guess, a weekend for phones. I go to the store yesterday, pick up some office supplies and some things we needed around the office, get that done yesterday. We got a big company-wide meeting today. And I get in the car, and I go to the post office to drop the mail off. And where's my phone? So I get out of the car. I'm feeling every pocket. I'm looking in the back. Did I put it back there with the copy paper in the cases? Couldn't find it. Well, I must have left it in the cart. Go back. Guys are pushing all the carts in. I said, "Hey guys, did you find a phone?" "Yeah, we just took it into the desk inside." I was lucky to get it back that quickly. I mean, it wasn't 5 minutes. Go inside. I thought I was going to have to give a DNA sample. Well, what color's your phone, sir? It's black. Tell me more about it. It's an iPhone? You want me to show you I can unlock it? I mean, the guy was like, and I appreciate his desire to make sure the right person got it, but I nearly had to get a new phone as well this weekend. I was going to have a hard time explaining how I left it in the shopping cart. That was going to be a tough one.
That's irritating. I would show you what it looks like, but it's doing this thing where it looks normal, and then it all of a sudden just starts blurring images all over the screen. So it's
I Googled the problem. They say generally it's when you spill a beer in your phone. That's what causes it.
It wasn't water damage. That's what's
no,
what's
it's beer
frustrating.
damage.
That's what's frustrating about it.
Beer
It's
damage.
just, I pulled it out of my pocket at the media row, and it just all of a sudden does just up and down the screen. I was just like, all right, I guess this is how this weekend's going to go.
It was the cold temperature sitting on that ice floor there.
I guess, yeah.
Did you tell you were sitting on ice?
It wasn't that cold to me.
Really
I know
not?
they played in, again, for those who don't know, Amalie Arena is where home of the Tampa Bay Lightning. KeyBank, am I saying that right? In Buffalo?
Yeah.
Is that right? KeyBank? That's
Arena.
where the Buffalo Sabres play. That's where Drew will be making his way up this
Same
weekend.
thing in Nashville, right? I mean,
Bridgestone.
Nashville's
Yep, it's
same
a
thing with
hockey.
Bridgestone.
The setup was awesome, man. And I think for the fans that made their way to Tampa for the tournament, had a great time. It was I had, for obvious reasons, we had great view. Drew will have a great view of the floor this weekend. I had forgotten how much more the action you get sucked in. I see why people pay absurd amounts for Gucci row seats, Tommy. You feel so much more of the game when being on the floor, like we got a chance to
What's
be
it
on
worth
Saturday.
to you? That's what they're going to find
That's
out.
a good point.
My worst of the weekend was trying to get Drew Barrett a flight booked. I'm on the phone with him. We're trying to get this thing booked. We're on Expedia. Never use Expedia again, guys, because we're on there. He sends me a link. I go to that link. It's like $500-something for the flight. They just kept jacking it up during the call. I mean, I was trying to type in my credit. I'm sorry, sir. This is now 150 more. Fine. By the time it's over, it's like $350 more. So that was my worst of the weekend, getting my blood pressure up, trying to get his flight booked. Went directly to the airline. A lot cheaper that way. Hey, sports fans, the best place to bet on games this week is BetOnline at BUSR.com/Morning Rush. Get a 100% deposit bonus when you go online right now. They've got everything from the March Madness games to casino games to blackjack and more. They got you covered, even with all the exotic bets as well. And get a 100% deposit bonus. So you put in 100, they match 100. You put in 1,000, they'll match 1,000. Whatever the amount is, you start with that account and get the 100% sign-on bonus. BUSR.com/Morning Rush. That's BUSR.com/Morning Rush. Bet with confidence. Bet with BUSR.com.
On the road to the Final Four with the Hogs is brought to you by Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort Sportsbook, Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, and Big Red Stores of Arkansas.
March Madness is here, and Burton Pools and Spas has all the savings you need to make your summer a success. Doughboy Above Ground Pools in-stock select packages up to $900 off. Cash and carry savings start at $19.95. Ask Burton staff about low-interest financing and payments as low as $87 a month on Doughboy Above Ground Pools. Burton Pools and Spas, making your backyard dreams come true in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a live jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
Sports fans, it's March Madness. Where are you going to bet? I know where I will. BUSR, of course. NCAA basketball, NBA, MLB, you name it, they got it. Besides sports and racing, you can play over 300 casino games at BUSR.com. And remember, no download is needed to play these games. Sign up today and get an exclusive 100% deposit bonus by going to BUSR.com/morningrush. That's BUSR.com/morningrush. Bet with confidence. Bet with BUSR.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Gray Steel Structures Incorporated is a family-owned business based in Greenwood specializing in steel structures. Owner Will Gray has 20 years experience doing the job right and making sure you're satisfied with the structure you have a need for. Gray Steel Structures serves both commercial and residential customers. Whatever your need may be, mini storage, RV storage, home workshop, or any metal building need, make Gray Steel Structures your first call. Gray Steel Structures, 252-2783. That's 252-2783.
GraySteelStructuresInc.com. That's Gray with an A.
When you want beer, you go to a bar. When you want top-shelf spirits, wines, handcrafted cocktails, and cigars, in an atmosphere benefiting a destination, you go to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Try our new menu items including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, or stick to your favorites, dine in or carry out. Enjoy our state-of-the-art air filtration system. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open at 4, Tuesday through Saturday.
We will make your life easier. Jody'sAuto.com will pick up your vehicle at your office or home or wherever. Take it to one of our 3 locations in Van Buren and Fort Smith. Perform any service your vehicle will ever need and deliver your vehicle back to you. Hi, Kim Bircher with Jody'sAuto.com. No missing work. No finding a sitter. No sitting in a waiting room. No wasting your precious time that you don't have. Many of our customers tell us, you're saving me money. Pickup and delivery, it's free when you spend $75 and only $10 if less. With our 3 oil change specials, you're going to find adding $10 will mean nothing. And we always have free shuttle service. You bring your vehicle to us and we will take you and pick you up in our vehicle. Honesty and customer service is always our #1 goal. We will make your life much easier. Jody'sAuto.com, JODYS Auto.com.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
At Claymaxi Premium Pre-Owned in Fort Smith, we're taking a cue from our pal Jalen Williams by taking charge and bringing you our A-game in-store and online. Plus, we made finding your next game-winning vehicle easier than ever with ClayMaxiFortSmith.com. You can view every premium pre-owned vehicle available all in one place, so don't get caught traveling. Visit Claymaxi Premium Pre-Owned right here in Fort Smith and ClayMaxiFortSmith.com.
ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com will follow every mile of the journey on the road to the Final Four. We couldn't do it without gas from Big Red stores in Arkansas. Never pay full price for gas again at your neighborhood Big Red store with Big Red Rewards. Or betting at Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort Sportsbook. The best way to bet on tournament action all March long at Arkansas's only casino resort. And the team at Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. 650,000 plus scholarships for Arkansans everywhere. Your #1 source for Hog basketball. ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
Between the circles, gets a screen from Williams. Left side, back to Jay Will. Pick and pop, three is good. Williams with a three-pointer. Hogs back up by 1.
Did you miss a segment or interview during the show? Find it in the Bud Light Next Morning Rush podcast. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
Back here on the Morning Rush, I want to talk a little bit about this Tom Brady news that came out. Maybe you're just jumping in here with us this morning. You're unaware that Tom Brady is going to come back for his 23rd NFL season. We'll discuss in just a sec.
Hey, don't let mosquitoes, ticks, and fleas ruin your outdoor activities this spring and summer. Call Mosquito Joe of Arkansas, family-owned business right here in the Natural State. They're committed to making outside fun again. So to get all the mosquitoes, ticks, and fleas out of your yard for spring and summer, start now with a call to Mosquito Joe, 479-202-9960. That's 479-202-9960. Or go online to arkansas.mosquitojoe.com. Your first service call is only $39 when you sign up now. That's 202-9960, or again online, arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
Here is ESPN's Adam Schefter about Tom Brady deciding not to retire.
We've been through this dance before, I guess. And we had this conversation a couple months back, and it's been 40 days since Tom Brady retired. And I think as he stepped back and reflected in his statement, he did not feel like the time was right now. And he certainly seemed to thank his family, which I think would help him along in this process and help usher him to this decision. He never stopped loving football. He never felt that he could stop playing football. But the fact of the matter is he was ready to walk away until he wasn't. And
let's reflect on this for a sec, Tommy. Are you happy, sad, or indifferent that Tom Brady is coming back for, again, his 23rd season, just his third with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Well, you only get to see greatness so often in your life, whether it's Tiger Woods, whether it's Michael Jordan, whether it's Tom Brady. There's very few that have played or competed at this level, coaching-wise. You know, I don't remember John Wooden, but that was the original gold standard. I mean, we talk about Belichick right now. So I mean, he is still playing. This isn't Michael Jordan coming back for another year where we know it's not going to be at the same level. We know Tom Brady can play at an elite level. He's still one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. He just needs the pieces to go around him. So I am in favor of this. But what it does tell you, when you're willing to consider retirement, even for 40 short days, we know we're still down to the last season or two, and this is the dance we're going to play from now on with Tom Brady. He's at least mentally crossed some threshold about what retirement is. He doesn't like what it's on the other side of that threshold yet, but eventually Father Time will catch up.
Do you see him jumping into television? Is he going to do his own thing? I know he's the documentary and some other things, but do you anticipate him becoming the Tony Romo or
I don't know that
Troy Aikman?
Maybe. I mean, that money's become so sweet with what was it? Aikman gets $18 million a year. They're looking to get Joe Buck over there to join him at ESPN. New crew for Monday Night Football. That's the reports. So yeah, I mean, Tony Romo has opened a whole new alley for retiring quarterbacks. And what could Tom Brady get? I mean, Peyton Manning has been able to kind of have the best of both worlds. He's getting reportedly paid near the same money to do the Manning cast with his brother. What could Tom Brady command as an analyst? $25 million? $30 million? What could Brady command if he wanted to go on TV?
I'm trying to think, sports-wise, Gretzky's, Drew, you like hockey. Gretzky's doing stuff with TNT, right? Is that okay? So Gretzky's on TNT because I remember the whole Charles Barkley thing. Michael doesn't do any broadcast. Think about the best players for each sports. Did Jack do broadcasting?
Yeah. Limited, not full time.
Okay, not full time. When you think about the best players in each prospective sport, Michael didn't really do broadcasting. Gretzky is with TNT now. You said Jack did a little bit.
Yeah, Tiger's never done any, but in golf you have course design. That's what you go to when you don't play. You design courses in golf. You don't really design basketball floors or football stadiums. So,
and I wonder if Tom, who's regarded as, did Montana ever do broadcasting?
I don't remember it.
Okay, and I'm unaware if he did. So Joe really didn't step into that limelight. Tom,
I think he did for a very brief. I think Montana did a very brief stint, and maybe even, I remember, ended his broadcast career maybe mid-year even.
Okay.
Decided it wasn't for him.
So, again, that's what's regarded as the greatest or second greatest, depending on what you think, best player of all time.
Was until Brady surpassed him.
Yeah, and
Most
that's,
people's opinion.
again, it's kind of half and half. The GOATs, for some sports, they get into broadcasting. The GOATs, for others, they don't. And I just wonder if he's put in a lot of effort and work. And I would think, I enjoyed the match. Every time that he does the match, he's more personable. And I think that him moving on to Tampa Bay from Bill Belichick in New England, not to say that Belichick and New England weren't great for him because we see all those Super Bowl reigns, but he feels more open about his life. And I think the broadcasting booth, we would definitely see more of Tampa Bay Tom than we would New England Tom, I think, showcase itself in the booth. I think. But again, sometimes you turn on the bright lights of television, it's not for everyone.
The good thing about TV is he could try it out. I mean, there's ways to simulate games. There's ways to practice doing games in the preseason. If it's something he wanted to try his hand out, he could, the networks can set up a situation where they can almost simulate the environment and let him figure out, hey, is this for me? TV's not easy work. I mean, there's a lot of prep, a lot of study, still watching film, but it makes you feel connected to the game, and the money right now is pretty incredible. Hot Take Mondays always brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. For over 20 years, Wheels RV has been taking care of customers. Lee J. Ferris and Chris Owens, they're dedicated to making sure your experience is the best. That's why they have the best brands. Top brands like Grand Design, Forest River, Vibe, KZ, Sportsman, as well as Paradigm Fifth Wheels, the hottest new fifth wheel in the industry right now from Alliance RV. It's all at Wheels RV, and plus, it's the only place you're going to get the lifetime warranty in Northwest Arkansas or the River Valley. Wheels RV, again, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
When we come back, some coaching movement within the Southeastern Conference we'll tell you about. Give you a setup of the lines with the SEC tournament games this upcoming weekend. All that is coming up right here on a Monday edition of the Morning Rush.
On the road to the Final Four with the Hogs is brought to you by Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort Sportsbook, Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, and Big Red Stores of Arkansas.
Get a free furnace when you purchase a qualifying new system from Ashley Air. And there is no down payment, no interest for 72 months on qualifying systems. And you get the Ashley Air Quality Assurance Guarantee, their 12-year parts and labor warranty. Get a free furnace when you purchase a new system from Ashley Air. Just go to AshleyAir.com to schedule your appointment. That's AshleyAir.com. Ashley Air is a proud sponsor of Razorback Athletics.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
March Madness is here, and Burton Pools and Spas has all the savings you need to make your summer a success. Doughboy Above Ground Pools in-stock select packages up to $900 off. Cash and carry savings start at $19.95. Ask Burton staff about low-interest financing and payments as low as $87 a month on Doughboy Above Ground Pools. Burton Pools and Spas, making your backyard dreams come true in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
We're remixed and remastered at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith. Some of your favorite apps, drinks, and desserts are now even better the second time around. Check out the sizzling cheesy bacon mac and cheese bites, a blast from the past with a whole new vibe. Also back are the famous Fridays fried mushrooms and the ultimate cheesy bacon cheeseburger. And all new at Fridays is the Oreo Madness, house-made giant Oreo cookies with cookies and cream ice cream coated in red and white sprinkles, served with chocolate sauce and a fresh strawberry. Come by or order online. It's your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
For a dependable, fuel-efficient tractor from a company committed to the future, choose a Branson tractor. Each of our tractors is backed by a 6-year limited warranty with models available ranging in horsepower from 22 to 58. You are sure to find the tractor that is right for you. Make sure you call or stop in today at the new location for Bush Tractor at 6100 South 0 Street in Fort Smith. Again, that is 6100 South 0 Street in Fort Smith. Or you can check them out online at bushtractor.com.
Farm Credit has been a trusted friend for over 100 years. They are ag financing experts, so whether you're a longtime farmer, new to farming, or buying your dream home or land in the country, their experienced staff has a plan to fit your goals, needs, and your bottom line. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com. Farm Credit is an equal opportunity lender.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
March is here at Frank Rowe Furniture, and it's my birthday month. Since it's my birthday month, I'm having a big sale with hundreds of dollars off savings on furniture. Not only are we offering big savings, you won't pay a dime on sales tax. That's right, no sales tax on cash or finance prices. I'm not done. We are knocking off $25 on all deliveries. In-store no credit check financing, family owned and service after the sale. Frank Rowe Furniture, best seats in the house.
Did you invest in real estate only to find out that real estate takes up too much of your time? If you answered yes, then it's time to make a call to the experts. With more than 30 years of combined property management experience and more than 16,000 units managed, Trinity Multifamily are the ones to call. Get your life back. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer opens like every other seltzer, pours like every other seltzer, but it's not like every other seltzer. USDA certified organic, no added sugar, and low cal, so you've never seen another seltzer quite like it. And with new refreshing flavors like black cherry and watermelon strawberry, you've never tasted one like it either. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, where's the rest of the beer?
I'm probably out unless you clowns brought some.
Well, I've already had 3. Who's going to get more?
Order it from your phone.
From where?
Sody's delivers.
You mean where my girlfriend gets her wine and those cheese plates?
And if you don't want to drive, that's where you can order it. My free beer is gone.
Sody's now delivers inside Fort Smith city limits. Just order from mysodys.com or download the Sody's app and order from your phone. Sody's Wine and Spirits. Experience different.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Somebody said we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Ashley Air. Keeping your home comfortable is what they do best. Trust them with your heating and cooling needs. Go to ashley.air.com to request service today.
So I'd encourage you, if you haven't already, to look at the Level 1 violations that are being associated with the LSU basketball program and Will Wade. Down there at the SEC tournament, one of the guys, Sheldon Mickles, that covers the LSU basketball team, I think for the Advocate, was asking Will about the allegations, how it impacted his future, and he just kept saying, I can't comment on this, I can't comment on this. Well, LSU and Scott Woodward have let go of Will Wade in conjunction with these things that have been, again, with this LSU basketball program. Wild stuff. I don't want to go into too much of it, but just look at it if you haven't. It's pretty nuts. Now, Mike White, more coaching news. Tom Crean's been let go by Georgia, LSU by Will Wade, or Will Wade by LSU. Mike White is going from Gainesville, Florida, to Athens, Georgia, to be the next Georgia head basketball coach. I would think this is to get out in front. I'd guess that Florida was probably like, hey, we're either going to let you go or you need to go find another place. That's my opinion. I don't know what was said behind closed doors. I think Scott Strickland is still the AD out there at Florida. So if it was a conversation between Strickland and Mike White, that's my guess on how it went down. Some of you watched the SEC Tournament Championship. Tennessee won. Rick Barnes, first thing he says in this press conference, Texas A&M deserves to be in the tournament. They don't get in the tournament, which was irritating. And listen, y'all know I hate Texas A&M more than any college on the planet. I was genuinely disappointed that they didn't make the tournament. I thought the SEC would get 7. Instead, they just got 6 teams. Speaking of the SEC teams, here are the lines for the upcoming SEC games in the NCAA tournament. Arkansas opened up as a 5.5-point favorite against Vermont. That line has gone the other way. Arkansas is up a few points there right now. Tennessee opened as a 16.5-point favorite against Longwood. Drew, any idea where Longwood is at all? Any guesses at all whatsoever? Because I have no idea. I'm going to have to look it up.
Somewhere in California?
Longwood University is in Farmville, Virginia.
Wasn't even close.
Wasn't even close. I didn't know where it was either, dude. LSU, Iowa State, that's an intriguing matchup. I'm excited to see what happens between the Cyclones and the Tigers with the firing of Will Wade. Kentucky is a 17.5-point favorite over St. Peter's. Auburn is a 17-point favorite against Jackson State. And then Alabama will pay the winner of either Rutgers or Notre Dame. Don't sleep on Rutgers. They've beaten some good teams this year. The Scarlet Knights, that is not going to be an easy out for Alabama and Will Wade. And I was looking at the times on some of these. I want to make sure I get some of these right. The first game that we have this Thursday would be Michigan versus Colorado State. We told you already, Arkansas will play at 8:20 this Thursday night on TNT. Brad Nessler is going to be on the call for that. Drew, I know you're going to be excited for the 1:45 game between Memphis and Boise State. These are, and I need to switch these. 11:15 is the first start. And then 12:45. These have got them on Eastern times on there. I always got to make sure to do that and put them in the right place. But we've got the list in front of us. I am so pumped for this week. Drew, Tommy and I were discussing this a little bit earlier. Where does March Madness work for you or rank for you in the best sports weekends of the year? Because to me, it's number 1.
Well, it's definitely top 3 for me as well. I think that opening week of college football season is great.
It's hard to beat. Yep.
It's hard to beat. It's hard to beat, a good weekend in October with playoff baseball, and, you get the right weekend, great matchups in college football. Masters weekend is definitely up there as a top 5 favorite. I would have to say this weekend to start March Madness is 1B or number 2 behind that first weekend of college football.
It's up there, man. It's up there for sure. I cannot. This week is just going to be absolutely incredible. A lot of SEC teams that will have impact on this NCAA tournament. And that's going to do it for your SEC update, brought to you by Ashley Air. Get a free furnace right now from Ashley Air when you purchase a qualifying new system. There's no down payment. There's no interest for 72 months on qualifying system. And you get that Ashley Air quality guarantee with their 12 parts and labor warranty. You're also going to get a free furnace when you purchase a new system from Ashley Air. Just go to ashley.air.com to schedule your appointment. Again, that's ashley.air.com. Ashley Air is a proud sponsor of Razorback Athletics. So I've talked to a handful of people, some at the watch party yesterday. I have 4 good friends that are making the trip to Buffalo. I was telling y'all about the story that this guy who is a rabid Razorback fan booked 8 different flights and 8 different hotels to the first round sites, narrowed it down a little bit when it got closer. He's already booked a restaurant reservation in Buffalo, New York, which I know he's really excited to see. And I told you about this place. And for you Arkansas fans that are making the trip up to Buffalo, New York, the number 1 food stop on your list should be this place called Wingnuts. Wingnuts. It's apparently the best wings in the United States of America. Drew, I've already sent you. It's only about 4 or 5 miles from your Airbnb, 12, 13 minutes. Nice little Uber over there. All you Arkansas fans making the trip. Niagara Falls, not too far from where you're being. We were talking about you may be going there. What are some of the things you're looking forward to? You've got outside of the early flight that you have to get up for tomorrow. Yeah. What are you looking forward to this upcoming week to watch Razorback basketball in attendance?
Well, honestly, it's just going to be great. This would be my first, big event of being a media member of this caliber size of talking about the NCAA tournament. I'm excited. I'm going to go to Anchor's Bar, which is the supposed home of the original Buffalo Wing back in the 60s. So
you're going to have a lot of Buffalo wings this week, aren't you?
Definitely going to do a lot of Buffalo wings. Probably going to find some time to go to Niagara. I doubt I spend a lot of time there. Just kind of there, take a picture, and probably
But you're
walk
there,
back.
I mean, it's close enough where you want to be there and
I
just
mean,
to
you
see
might
it.
as well. 'Cause, I mean, heck, when's the next time I'm going to be in Buffalo?
You found public transit is around, and public transit in Tampa was free this weekend for me, and I was close enough to the arena. I was about 3/4 of a mile away from my friend's apartment, so I just walked everywhere I went. And you have free public transit down there for all y'all listening that are making the trip up. That's I think a big benefit for people.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be great. I think my Airbnb, it's 2 blocks away from public transit. It's about a 15, 20-minute walk to KeyBank Arena. Perfect little area. Nice little small place, but I don't need that much space to begin with. I'm super excited. Like, I cannot tell you how grateful I am for both you and Tommy to trust me to not only go there, but to have the equipment and, to give the best coverage that this station standard has been set at.
It's a low standard because I've been going on some of these trips, or at least Tommy likes to make it out to be. I feel like I've done a
lot. I mean, we give
decent
you a
job.
lot of crap, but you do a lot.
It'll be fun down there. You'll be in, I would assume, first 3 rows on the side. I don't know how they're going to set it up at KeyBank, but it was really cool. The Final Four the Elite Eight set up last year, getting to watch Arkansas Baylor where they had us. You'll have full arenas. I didn't get that last year. You're going to get a chance to see that. And just the effect of having the full intensity of the crowd. Now, remember, UConn and Vermont, less than 7 hours away from each place. Got a text earlier that Vermont basketball fans, I don't know if I should be 100% in line with this text, but a text earlier from Dexter that Vermont doesn't have the best basketball fans, but they do have a really good quality basketball team, and that's really what matters is the head-to-head matchup between the Razorbacks and the Catamounts on the floor itself. I think about one of my favorite NCAA tournament highlights, and I think it was against Syracuse where TJ Sorenstein in 01 or 02 or 03 hit a shot from 30-some-odd feet at the end of that basketball game. Maybe I'm misremembering the opponent who it was, but that was a lot of fun. Arkansas's, I was of the belief that if you played this game in Milwaukee, who Bobby Portis is the second favorite player on that team behind Giannis Antetokounmpo, that a lot of Milwaukee people that are just buying tickets to go to the games would cheer for Arkansas because of Bobby Portis. I don't know how many neutral site fans, Drew, will be cheering for Arkansas with Vermont and potentially UConn if you get by that first game. They have a tough game in that first round as well if you match up against them in the round of 32.
Yeah, anything. It's going to be weird kind of to see how the fans kind of pile in and see where loyalties really land, because 7 hours from Vermont, I mean, yeah, it's a little closer like Tommy was saying, but it doesn't really, I don't think, plays into that much. Now, Vermont, I've watched a few Vermont games in my time, and I can remember, I think it was their conference championship about 3-4 years ago, and they had a sellout arena. Now, it was a small arena, but very passionate, very loud fans. So it's going to be interesting to see between the 8 teams of who really takes over Buffalo. If I had to guess, I think it would be UConn, though.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking, too. This is a good text from Zach in Warner Robins, Georgia. And make sure throughout the week, y'all, if you've got recommendations, you've been to Buffalo, New York. I know it's kind of out there. It's kind of out. I don't know how many Razorback fans or Arkansans or listeners of the show have just randomly gone for a trip to Buffalo. But if you do have Rex for Drew, like Zach and Warner Roberts does, please text him. Text the show, 877-377-6963. He's telling you to go to the top of City Hall observation deck for the best view of the city. Apparently, he swam the championships when he was in college, which is kind of cool in itself. Humble brag. And he got a chance to see it. So that's cool. Just take some quality picks. Tampa is going to be completely different. I was looking at the weather for you, buddy.
It's really not as bad as I thought.
No, it's not. So today,
no snowshoes or anything.
No, today is a high of 45, low of 27. Throughout the week, you're kind of looking in that 40 to 60 range, and you'll be there starting tomorrow. High is 46, so it's a little colder, but
I think there's a day that it gets up to like 62. I'm supposed to be there.
Yeah, Thursday. So make game day. Perfect.
Be great.
Yeah, you'll have a good time. And it's a lot of fun. For all you Arkansas fans making the trip today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday. I guess you could fly out on Thursday based on what the time is.
The late game, yeah.
You might not want to push it to the brink because I know that can be scary. Ask someone that had 10 flight delays, 3 cancellations his last trip to Madison, Wisconsin, and never gone through anything like that before. Just be aware of that. And you've got your ticket, you've got your Airbnb, you've got restaurant recommendations, you've got a view recommendation. You're all set for this week to have a heck of a time, my man.
Oh, yeah, I'm super excited. Like I said, I really do appreciate you and Tommy and everybody here at the station to have the faith in me to not screw it up.
We're going to have
and I'm going to, fingers crossed.
I think you're going to do a great job, man. I'm excited for you. Hey, if you haven't already, make sure you sign up for hitthatline.com bracket challenge presented by Buffalo Wild Wings, Crabtree RV in Alma, and the Stadium Shop in Fayetteville. It's easy to do if you want your own account with several of your friends or your work pool or your family. You can do that on our hitthatline.com bracket challenge. It's all over the state. You'll be competing against the Morning Rush, Halftime, Ruskin, Zach, Andy Hodges, and hitthatline.com. There are great prizes. We've got a Razorback couch from the Stadium Shop, $150 gift card from Buffalo Wild Wings, and also get a $150 thing from Crabtree RV in Alma as well. If you haven't done it already, make sure you sign up. It's also brought to you by H&R Block in Northwest Arkansas and Swift Jewelers in Fayetteville, amongst our other sponsors. Hope you all had a great Monday. 8:20 this Thursday, Arkansas, Vermont. For Drew Barrett, Tommy Kraft, I'm Ty Richardson. Y'all have a good rest of your week.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the